At that moment, the male lead arrived at the hospital entrance, thinking, damn it, is fate fair? I've studied medicine for 10 years, only to be smeared and take the blame for the one who killed the patient. Just because I'm not the eldest son. With the identity of a useless live-in son-in-law of the Bai family, unable to practice medicine for 3 years. It has been 3 years. No one knows what I've been through, no one knows my capabilities, no one even calls me by my name. At this moment the nurses were buzzing, saying I was incompetent, a freeloader, a jinx, useless, a good-for-nothing, trash, cowardly, a waste, ignorant, a pig of a live-in son-in-law. Being weak is acceptable, but the male lead didn't care, he continued thinking. Only my most beautiful wife, Bai Xue. Even in the most difficult times, she never abandoned me. Suddenly, the image of Bai Yao appeared. He smiled faintly, saying, "Ah, you useless thing." That was the image of Madame Bai slapping him, saying, "You idiot." As those memories surfaced, the image of Bai Xue appeared, and he continued thinking, "But no one is allowed to make my woman cry. The 3-year term is over. All of you, who have ever hurt me, humiliated me, looked down on me, are you ready?" Then, he turned around, saying, "Chen Hang Yue, I'm back." Chen Hang Yue was on the phone. The person on the other end was trying to persuade him, "Second master, don't argue with the boss anymore, come back." At that time, the first young master's medical skills weren't good, and he killed someone while treating them. The boss was only forced to do it to protect the eldest grandson, so he had you take the blame. Now the first young master has been arrested and imprisoned, and you've suffered a lot being a live-in son-in-law for 3 years. The person on the other end continued to coax him, "As long as you're willing to come back, the entire $1 trillion fortune will be yours." But before the other person could finish speaking, Chen Hang Yue hung up. He laughed disdainfully, saying, "Ha! $1 trillion fortune, I don't want it." He walked into a building, thinking, "Before he passed away, my father told me not to reveal my identity or my abilities within 3 years. Now the term is up. No one can stop Chen Hang Yue from proving himself anymore." In the hospital, the nurses saw him, buzzing. "Oh, the live-in son-in-law of the Bai family is here again." Another nurse replied, "His job is so easy, he just has to pick up and drop off Bai Xue, and he gets food and drink. Why can't I have such good luck?" Hearing this, a jealous person replied, "So you want your husband to be idle and do nothing in the future?" Suddenly, a nurse ran over in a hurry, shouting, "Tell Bai Xue to the operating room. A patient is hemorrhaging." Dr. Bai Yao told her to go there quickly. Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue ran over, making everyone around him angry, saying, "Is this good-for-nothing rushing to be reincarnated? Are you blind?" he shouted. "Sorry, excuse me, get out of the way." He ran while thinking, Bai Yao always likes to show off, and never lets Bai Xue into the operating room. But why did he ask her to come this time? Something must be strange. Arriving in front of the operating room, looking inside, he thought, Bai Yao, why isn't he inside the operating room saving the patient, but standing outside? In front of the operating room door, Bai Xishan, the director of the Bai Corporation Hospital Surgery Department, shouted angrily, "I sent you abroad to study, and you've thrown it all down the toilet. You even used the wrong medicine for a minor surgery. That medicine is an anticoagulant. Even I can't save him now. Tell me, what should we do?" Bai Yao, a doctor in the surgery department of the Bai Corporation Hospital, replied calmly, "Dad, what are you afraid of? Didn't I call Bai Xue over? When the time comes, even if someone dies, she will take the blame." At this moment, Chen Hang Yue came out with a recording, saying, "To think that the dignified director and doctor in charge would let others take the blame when disaster strikes. This really opens my eyes." Seeing him, the two were surprised, saying, "Chen Hang Yue." Then, Chen Hang Yue threatened, "I'll count to 3. Open the door and let me in. Otherwise, I'll make sure the patient's family and all the Sucheng media get this recording." Seeing this, Bai Yao angrily said, "You useless piece of trash, you usually wouldn't even dare to fart, so what's gotten into you today? You dare talk to me like that? Do you believe that one word from me can starve your whole family to death?" Bai Xishan quickly reached out to stop Bai Yao. Then Bai Xishan said, "Fine, I'll let you in, just delete the recording." Then, Chen Hang Yue calmly put the phone in his pocket, stepped into the operating room and said, "Actually, I didn't record anything at all." Those words infuriated Bai Xishan, and his son, Bai Yao, worriedly asked, "Dad, why did you let that good-for-nothing in? What if he causes more trouble?" But Bai Xishan replied, "Wouldn't that be even better? A good-for-nothing who doesn't know anything like him. Does he have the ability to snatch someone from the hands of death? If the patient dies later, just put all the blame on him. Let's wait outside the door. Let's just wait and see the fools make a joke of themselves." Inside the operating room, there were urgent calls for haste, hemostat, gauze, and the nurses fearfully discussed, "Is Bai Xue gonna be okay? If you kill someone, don't drag us down with you." Then, someone immediately said, "Let's go. Let her do it here by herself." When he saw Chen Hang Yue enter, someone loudly and angrily questioned, "This is an operating room. How did a good-for-nothing like you get in here? Get out of here now." The nurse next to him said, "Good job, Bai Xue. If you can't do it alone, don't drag your useless husband in to make things even more chaotic." Then, they left and said, "Let those two good-for-nothings continue. Let's get out of here quickly. Don't bring trouble on ourselves." Others chimed in, That's right. I heard the patient's family is very fierce." Seeing Bai Xue trembling, Chen Hang Yue stepped forward and said, "Don't be afraid, I'm here to help you." Bai Xue, with sweat all over her forehead, said, I've tried my best, but the blood keeps flowing. Unless a miracle happens, it's useless even if you come. Moreover, you don't know anything about medicine. You should leave quickly too. I don't want to implicate you." Hearing this, he picked up a needle in his hand and said, "I am the miracle." A while later, in the operating room changing area, Bai Xue was breathing a sigh of relief when suddenly, Bai Xixian led the police in, shouting, "Bai Xue, you are undisciplined, organized, disobedient to orders, using drugs randomly, causing the patient's death. Wait for court." Bai Xue asked in astonishment, "What nonsense are you talking about? It's obviously you people." Suddenly, a voice, What rang out. A tall and burly man stepped in, angrily saying, "You killed my sister. You quack doctors killed someone. I'm going to call my brothers to smash your hospital. I'm going to bury all of you with my sister." The nurse hurriedly ran out to stop him, saying, "You can't come in." Bai Yao and Bai Xixian huddled timidly to the side. Bai Xixian stammered, "Boss Zhang, she did it. Get the one responsible. Get the one who owes." At this time, Chen Hang Yue pushed the hospital bed out of the operating room, saying, "Who said the patient is dead? Isn't she doing well?" The tall and burly man went to the hospital bed again, trembling, asking, "What's going on? What exactly is wrong with my sister?" Chen Hang Yue leisurely replied, "Don't worry, the surgery was very smooth." Then, Bai Xixian took credit, saying, "It's like this. During the surgery, Bai Xue used the wrong medicine, causing your sister to bleed heavily. If I hadn't intervened in time, the consequences would have been unimaginable." Boss Zhang walked in just when I was teaching her a lesson. He thought to himself, "Am I seeing ghosts? Could it be that he helped Bai Xue stop the bleeding? No way, I can't let him take the credit so easily." Seeing this, Bai Xue shouted angrily, "That's a lie. It was clearly Bai Yao who used the wrong medication. I was the one who intervened when the patient was hemorrhaging. If Chen Hang Yue hadn't been here today, something terrible would have happened to the patient." Suddenly, Madame Bai, the manager of Bai Hospital, was supported in by two nurses. She asked, "This is a hospital. What's all this noise about?" Seeing her, someone immediately cried out, "Grandma!" Bai Xue turned to Madame Bai, grabbed Chen Hang Yue's hand and said, "Grandma, you're finally here. Today, my cousin used the wrong medication during surgery, almost killing the patient from hemorrhage. If Hang Yue hadn't stepped in, the patient couldn't have been saved." Seeing her actions, Chen Hang Yue thought to himself, "You little fool. You clearly know that Grandma doesn't like me, yet you don't claim the credit for yourself. As for me, I don't care." Madame Bai looked at him sternly and asked, "You entered the operating room?" He replied, "Yes." Madame Bai immediately slapped him hard and shouted, "How dare a good-for-nothing live-in son-in-law like you step into the operating room? Do you want to bring ruin upon the Bai family?" Both Bai Xue and Chen Hang Yue were dumbfounded by Madame Bai's actions. Afterwards, Madame Bai pointed at Bai Xue and said, "Bai Xue, if you don't have the ability, don't force yourself to perform surgery. And you even dared to bring Chen Hang Yue in. If your eldest uncle hadn't been here today, the reputation of the Bai family would have been ruined by you two. Quickly apologize to your cousin. Then, go home and reflect on yourself." Bai Xue blankly asked, "What?" Seeing this, Chen Hang Yue looked angry and started to say "Grandma," but Bai Xue resignedly said, "Yes, Grandma." Afterwards, she bowed to Bai Yao and said, "Cousin, I'm sorry." Bai Yao smugly said, "It's okay, I'm generous, so I'll forgive you. Who told me to be the primary treating doctor? If the assistant makes a mistake, I still have to clean up the mess for her. Remember to be more careful next time. Of course, if you can still come back." Afterwards, Madame Bai said to Boss Zhang, "I'm so sorry, it's because I haven't taught her well. To express our apology, we'll upgrade the patient to a VIP room for free. Xixian, you personally take care of them." Bai Xixian hurriedly replied, "Don't worry, Mom." Boss Zhang glared at her and said, "That's more like it." Bai Xue, on the other hand, turned her face away, tears welling up in her eyes. At this moment, Chen Hang Yue suddenly said, "It's been 3 years. No matter how much I'm looked down upon, no matter how much I'm ridiculed, I've always endured it." The group of people turned around in surprise to look at him. He continued, "But Bai Xue is my woman. No one is allowed to bully her. I'm waiting for you all to apologize to her." Scene changes to inside a building. A shout is heard. "Today, you two are going to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a divorce." Li Suyun, Bai Xue's mother, shouted angrily, "You good for nothing. You've been sitting around for 3 years and now you've caused Bai Xue to lose her job. Divorce. You're getting a divorce today and getting out of my house immediately." Hearing this, Bai Xue turned her face away and said, all right, I'm not getting a divorce." Li Suyun turned around in shock and asked, "What kind of bewitching spell did he cast on you? Back then, when your grandfather chose this guy to marry into the Bai family, none of my daughters were willing to step up. Only you were foolish enough to do it. What kind of karma did I create in my past life that I gave birth to such a stupid daughter in this life?" At that moment, Bai Shiqi, Bai Xue's father, poked his head out from the kitchen and said, "What are you standing there for? Come here and help me wash these vegetables." Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue immediately stepped forward and said, "Coming, Dad." Seeing this, Li Suyun shouted angrily, "I don't care. This matter has to be resolved completely. Divorce first, then go back to the hospital. You're a member of the Bai family, and you have a share in the hospital. Even if you die, you have to die in the hospital." In the kitchen, Bai Shiqi said, "Don't mind your mother's words. Tell her that Bai Xue's matter has nothing to do with you. If anyone is to blame, blame your dad for not studying medicine properly. If I was like your eldest brother, the director of the hospital, Bai Xue wouldn't have to suffer such bullying." Chen Hang Yue washed the vegetables while replying, "Don't worry, Dad." He then determinedly said, "Those people will come here to apologize soon. The grievances that Bai Xue has suffered." Scene change to the hospital. Boss Zhang's sister, is exhibiting unusual symptoms, causing Bai Yao to worry. What's going on? Why the sudden rash? Her heart is racing, blood pressure is rising, and she has a fever. The patient has a fever. Bai Yao immediately ordered, "Quick, go get my father here now." The nurse hurried out, replying, "Yes." Boss Zhang entered with a plate of fruit in his hand, puzzled. "What's wrong with my sister again?" Bai Yao, looking pale, said, "Boss Zhang, please, calm down. Everything is under our control." Boss Zhang anxiously checked on his sister, asking, "What is this? Why is she covered in red rashes?" Then, Boss Zhang grabbed Bai Yao by the collar, saying, "You dare say it's under control? If anything happens to my sister, I'll make sure your whole family is buried with her." Hearing this, Bai Yao stammered, "Of course, we'll arrange an expert consultation immediately." At this moment, Bai Xishan and Madame Bai were discussing matters in the office. When they heard the news, Bai Xishan turned, bewildered, asking, "Red rash and fever, is that possible?" The nurse outside the door gasped, "Yes, that's right. The patient's family is causing a scene. Director Bai, please go and take a look." Bai Xishan, upon hearing this, stammered, I've never encountered such strange symptoms before." Following this, Madame Bai stood up and slammed the table. "I know a doctor, who is the deputy director of Renmin Hospital in Dinjin, and she happens to be conducting research at the Zheng City Hospital." "Xixian, go personally and make sure to invite her here," Bai Xixian, sweating, replied. Yes, I'll go immediately." On the hospital bed, Boss Zhang's sister was drenched in sweat, her face darkened, and her body covered in rashes. Everyone around was examining her. Boss Zhang anxiously asked, "Doctor, what's wrong with my sister? Is it serious?" The nurse handed over the medical record, saying, "Professor Han, this is the patient's record." After reviewing the record, Professor Han angrily said, "Using such a terrible drug during anesthesia, did you get your medical certificate just to sit around doing nothing?" Then, Bai Yao explained, "It's because my instruction was not strict enough. Assistant Dr. Bai Xue used the wrong medication." Professor Han opened the blanket to examine her and said, "Actually, the surgical procedure the patient needed was very simple, but her constitution is very sensitive. Using the wrong medication not only caused severe bleeding, but also led to anaphylactic shock, resulting in red rashes all over her body. But it's strange. With this kind of severe bleeding, she should have died in the operating room. How did this patient survive?" After opening the blanket, Professor Han saw 4 acupuncture needle marks on the patient's foot. Professor Han looked at them thoughtfully. Boss Zhang excitedly said, "So doctor, can you operate on my sister again? Aren't you the best doctor in Dijin? Surely there's a way." Following this, Professor Han said, "Given the current situation, I am also powerless." The patient was able to be snatched back from the gates of hell entirely because someone performed acupuncture on her. As long as you can invite that person to perform acupuncture on her again, the patient will naturally be saved. Hearing this, Boss Zhang angrily shouted, "What?" Then he turned to beg Bai Xixian, "Director Bai, please, show your divine abilities once more." But Bai Xixian stammered, I don't know, acupuncture, you have to ask Bai Xue about that." Hearing this, Boss Zhang angrily said, "Didn't you say you saved my sister?" Seeing this, Bai Xixian, looking withered, said, Mr. Zhang, don't be anxious, I'll call her over immediately." Scene changed to home. The phone rings. Chen Hang Yue answers, "Hello." The other end angrily asks, "Why is it you good for nothing? Where is Bai Xue? I order her to get to the hospital within 10 minutes, or she'll bear the consequences." Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue said, "First, all those who humiliated her today must come here and apologize. Second, promote Bai Xue to attending physician with a 5-fold salary increase. Otherwise, forget it." Bai Yao on the other end angrily said, "Are you throwing away all shame? Me begging her? I'm giving her a chance to scram over here." Hearing Bai Yao scream, he said, "Just like a crazy dog," and held the phone away to hang up. At this moment, Bai Xue, wearing only a sexy towel wrapped around her body, walked out and asked, "Is everything okay at the hospital?" Seeing this, Chen Hang Yue replied, "Yeah, it's fine." But his face flushed and his heart pounded. He thought, "We've been married for 3 years and I don't even have the right to enter the bedroom, sleeping on the sofa every day, and I'm still a virgin. Is heaven even just—" Then, Bai Xue walked over and said, "Right, I've always wanted to ask you." She suddenly moved closer to him and sat down, saying, "I never knew you knew medicine. When Grandpa was alive, he didn't allow me to ask about your background, and you didn't say anything either. But we've been married for 3 years. Can you tell me who you really are now?" Scene change at the hospital. Boss Zhang angrily asked, "What? She's not coming." Bai Yao trembled and replied, "That's right," Bai Xue said. "Unless everyone apologizes to her, and she gets a promotion and a raise, she won't take action to save anyone." You all heard that? She has absolutely no medical ethics. She and that Chen Hang Yue are 2 selfish people. On the side, Professor Han thought to himself after hearing this, "As expected, I wasn't wrong. In this world, the only person who can use that acupuncture method is him." Freeze Chen Hang Yue. Boss Zhang hurriedly grabbed Bai Yao's hand and exclaimed, "Take me to her house. Even if it's kidnapping, I have to bring her here." Bai Yao stammered, Yes, she needs to be taught a lesson." At this time, Mrs. Zhang, the matriarch of the Zhang family, rushed in and shouted, "Damn quack!" Boss Zhang was stunned and said, "Mom." Scene change at Bai Xue's house. Bai Xue was asking the male lead if he learned his traditional Chinese medicine from a doctor in the countryside. "You think I'll believe that lie?" Her words made him hesitate. How to explain this? He struggled inwardly, thinking, what should I do? Should I tell the truth? Although there's no reason to hide it anymore. What if she carelessly reveals it, and everyone finds out my identity? That would be terrible. No, the time isn't right yet. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, saving his life. Chen Hang Yue hurriedly said, Coming, he thought. Thank heavens, thank earth, like giving coal in snowy weather. Bai Xue hurriedly ran into the room, saying, I'm not dressed yet. Stepping out the door, he was dumbfounded and bewildered by the people in front of his house. Bai Yao, holding his back, said, What kind of freakish building is this? There's not even an elevator. Bai Xishan angrily said, Tell Bai Xue to get out here. Do we have to personally invite her in? Show some respect. And make Grandma come to invite you personally. Are you trying to rebel? At this time, Bai Xue stepped out and asked, Why are you all here? Bai Yao angrily said, Bai Xue, you have absolutely no medical ethics. Harming patients. And harming the Bai Corporation Hospital. You have to bear the responsibility for today alone. Ugh, I'm so tired, he thought. I had to carry Grandma up 5 flights of stairs, my salary. Then, Mrs. Zhang stepped forward and said, Dr. Bai Xue, I am Zhang Li's mother, the person you just operated on. Bai Xue politely asked, Mrs. Zhang, what happened? Boss Zhang was still angrily pointing at her, saying, Stop pretending with me, if you don't today. Before Boss Zhang could finish speaking, a smack was heard. Mrs. Zhang said, My son is rude, I apologize to you. Witnessing the scene, Bai Xue blankly said, Madam, you're too kind. As for Boss Zhang, he hugged his head like a wrong child, sitting to the side. Then, Mrs. Zhang said, I've looked into everything. My daughter was given the wrong medication by that quack main doctor, causing her to bleed heavily during the operation. It was this girl who took action in time, saving her from the gates of hell. On behalf of the Zhang family, I thank you for your great kindness and virtue. At this time, Boss Zhang asked in surprise, What? Bai Xishan stood to the side, stammering, Mrs. Zhang, you can't say it like that, right? Bai Yao added, It was clearly Bai Xue's fault in the first place. Mrs. Zhang turned to them, angrily questioning, Speak! Director Bai, things have come to this point. Do you want me to spell everything out? It's written very clearly on the medical report who was the main surgeon, and who administered the medication. Is there any hospital under the heavens that would let an assistant surgeon take the lead during an operation, making the assistant surgeon take all the responsibility? Is Bai Corporation's hospital disregarding the law, wanting to create new rules? Seeing this, Madame Bai lowered her head and said, You're right, I didn't consider it thoroughly. I apologize to you both. As family members of the patient, the urgent matter here is to quickly return to the hospital for the patient's treatment. Afterwards, Madame Bai said, Bai Xue, Grandma wrongly blamed you before. From now on, you will be the chief surgeon in the surgery department of Bai Corporation's hospital. Hang in there, don't be upset, quickly come with me to the hospital. Hearing this, Bai Xue happily said, Yes, Grandma. The male lead standing nearby, seeing this, said, Grandma, if everything is clear now, Uncle and Bai Yao slandered Bai Xue so much earlier, shouldn't they owe her an apology? Following that, Madame Bai said, You two quickly apologize to Bai Xue, Bai Xishan said in shock. What? Me apologize to her? I'm her elder, Bai Yao said indignantly. Grandma. At this moment, suddenly a whoosh sound was heard. Boss Zhang grabbed Bai Yao and his father by their collars, lifting them up, scaring them. Boss Zhang angrily asked, What? Is it a loss for you two quacks to apologize? Bai Xishan said fearfully. Of course we should apologize, Bai Yao hurriedly replied. I also apologize. Afterwards, Bai Xishan bowed and said, Bai Xue, it was uncle who spoke wrongly. Bai Yao also bowed and said, Sorry, Bai Xue. Hearing this, Bai Xue happily said, It's okay, I am a generous person, so I forgive you two. Bai Yao thought angrily. Damn brat, daring to use those words back at me to insult me? Bai Yao had used those words to insult Bai Xue before. Following that, Boss Zhang knelt down and said, Dr. Bai Xue, I was blind before and didn't recognize Mount Tai. I apologize to you. Just consider the words I said at the hospital that day, as if I farted. Now my sister's condition has worsened, and only you can save her. Bai Xue looked at him and replied, Okay, let's set off immediately. Seeing Chen Hang Yue following along, Bai Yao asked disdainfully, What's that good-for-nothing doing following us? Bai Xue immediately answered, Hang Yue is my assistant. In her heart, she thought, if he doesn't want to tell the truth, then he must have his own difficulties. I should temporarily not tell others about it. Outside the operating room door, Bai Yao excitedly shouted, Nonsense, not even letting in a nurse. Can just the two of them complete an operation? Who will take responsibility if something happens? Brother Zhang leaned against the wall beside the door, closing his eyes, not caring, and said a simple, Hearing this, Bai Xishan agreed. Right, seems like those two are planning to ruin the hospital's reputation. Brother Zhang then spoke sternly. Wasn't yesterday's operation also just the two of them? Hearing Brother Zhang's voice, Bai Yao was startled and afraid. Xishan put his arm around Bai Yao's shoulder and said softly, The operating room changed equipment last week, leaving a duct hole behind. Go see what those two are up to. Remember to film it. As long as they do something illegal, revoke their medical license immediately. Bai Yao didn't say anything. Bai Xue examined the patient and said, Why didn't you tell me sooner that it was this serious? Just because you wanted to fight against them? Chen Hang Yue replied, Don't worry. I anticipated this symptom. The toxins in the body must be released before it can be treated. Hang Yue said with a serious look. If they don't come looking for me after 24 hours, I will take the initiative to treat the patient. Bai Xue said in surprise. Yue Tian, Hang Yue interrupted, raising a finger to his lips. Bai Xue immediately asked curiously. What's wrong? Yue Tian didn't answer, just glanced behind her. In another room, Bai Yao was using 2 chairs to prop himself up on the table, standing precariously. He was secretly holding a phone, peeking through a hole in the wall. From the hole, something flew into the operating room. Hearing a thump, thump, click sound, Bai Xue asked curiously, "What's that sound?" Hang Yue calmly closed his eyes and said, "Just a mouse. Ignore it." He opened his eyes, focused his mind, and countless gleams of light flashed from the needle in his hand. After a while, everyone outside the room focused their gaze in one direction. Bai Xue pushed the patient out, followed by Hang Yue. She happily said, "The surgery was a great success. The patient's rashes are gone. Just take some anti-inflammatory medicine and rest for a night, and she'll be fine." Looking at the girl lying on the bed, someone exclaimed excitedly, "It's true. The rashes are all gone, and her complexion is much better." Mrs. Zhang was surprised to see her son so excited, knelt down on one knee, and clasped her hands in a gesture of gratitude, saying, "Dr. Bai, you are truly a miracle worker. I apologize for how I treated you before. Please forgive me. With your great generosity." Bai Xue quickly stopped him and said, "Please don't be so polite. Saving people is a doctor's duty. I only hope that in the future, Mr. Zhang, will understand the situation more clearly before judging whether someone is good or bad." Hang Yue silently turned and left. "Mr. Zhang happily replied, his face flushed. Yes, I'll listen to the doctor," Shixian said with a cold face. Unhappily, Bai Xue, one surgery doesn't mean everything. Your road ahead is long, so don't be arrogant. Mrs. Bai glanced at Shixian and said coldly, "Perhaps someone else is the one who shouldn't be arrogant." "I think Bai Xue performed very well." Seeing his mother's eyes, Shixian's expression changed, and he replied fearfully, "Huh? Yes, mother," Bai Xue thought with some sadness. But it was clearly his credit. In the distance, Mrs. Bai scolded her son. This time, if it weren't for Bai Xue, the consequences would have been unimaginable. "You better reflect on yourself." Shixian could only scratch his head as he walked, answering, Yes. Hang Yue turned back to wave, winking and smiling as if to conceal his contributions and name. He thought to himself, "Don't be sad, you little fool. I am willing to do it." Suddenly seeing Hang Yue wink at her, Bai Xue blushed shyly, thinking, He saw through my thoughts. At this moment, in the room next to the operating room, Bai Yao was lying on top of a pile of tables and chairs, dizzy, trembling and gritting his teeth in pain, saying, "Someone, save me." Chen Hang Yue. "Just you wait," Bai Yao whispered into his father's ear. "Grandma is most afraid of the hospital's reputation being tarnished. I will." Bai Shixian opened his mouth in surprise, and after listening, he stood up from his chair, laughing. "Ha! As expected of my son." "Good, very good." Bai Yao, lying face down on the chaise lounge, was praised by his father and happily replied, "Haha, you flatter me, father. I learned it from you." The nurse was massaging and adjusting Bai Yao's bones, pressing down hard, and a cracking sound like a broken bone rang out. Bai Yao's expression immediately changed. His face turned pale, and his forehead was covered in sweat. The nurse behind her was startled and frightened. Covering her mouth with her hand, Bai Yao shouted, his voice echoing through the hospital night. "Afai, my back," Shixian also exclaimed. "My son," the nurse hurriedly said. I'm sorry." The next morning at breakfast, Li Suyun kept putting meat into her daughter's bowl, saying, Here, my good daughter, eat more." "Oh, Mom, I'm not a 3-year-old anymore. I can get it myself." Suyun, while putting meat into her daughter's bowl, said very happily, "In the end, our Bai Xue is still talented. Attending doctor. What glory. Let's see if that Bai Shixian still has the face to show off in front of us." Bai Xinqi, sitting next to her, picked up some food and irritably reminded his wife, "Look at how agitated you are. Isn't all that nagging from tonight enough for you?" Bai Xue turned to look at Hang Yue, who was eating, and said, "Actually, it's not my achievement, it's Hang Yue." Li Suyun interrupted her daughter. Okay. She ate while squinting contemptuously and saying, "You good for nothing. You've been sponging off us for 3 years and still haven't gone out to find a job. Now that Bai Xue has been promoted, why do you just stay at home, freeloading? You're like mud that can't be plastered on a wall." Bai Xue spoke up, saying, "Mom." After eating, Suyun and her husband went out. Before leaving, she turned back and annoyedly instructed, "Clean up the house. Sweep the floor clean. We have guests for lunch, so go out and wait. Don't stay here and be an eyesore." Chen Hang Yue tidied up the dishes on the table and replied, "Yes, I know." Halfway down the stairs, Shichi turned back and asked his wife, "Guests? Who's coming?" Suyun happily replied, "Do you remember Deng Ai-jun? He was that high school student, Bai Xue's classmate, who used to like her. He just returned from abroad, and is now said to be the deputy director of surgery at the city hospital, young, and with a family business in pharmaceuticals. 3 villas, 5 or 6 cars." As Shichi realized something, he said in shock, What do you want to do?" Bai Xue has been married for 3 years. Suyun immediately raised her voice. "Bullshit." Her father excitedly said, "So what if she's married? Can't she get divorced? If it wasn't for your father forcing me that year, would I have let Bai Xue marry that penniless good-for-nothing? Luckily, I protected her perfectly, so our Bai Xue is still a pure virgin. That Deng Ai-jun has always missed Bai Xue. I'm letting them meet at noon. Don't you dare interfere." Shi-chi, terrified and sweating, gritted his teeth and said, "You're really talking nonsense." Suyun immediately scolded, "Shut your mouth." At this moment, as Hang Yue was cleaning the floor, there was a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. He opened the door and happily said to the person in front of him, Ah, it's you, Aunt Zhang. Bao is coming at this hour. Brother Zhang's eyes darkened when he saw Hang Yue's appearance, thinking, an apron, gloves, and a mop. Isn't this some senile old woman? This guy is a miracle doctor, Hang Yue said. Wait a moment, I'll go as soon as I finish mopping the floor. Looking at where Brother Zhang led him, Hang Yue commented, this is the old villa district of Suacheng, right? Those who can live here are either rich or powerful, Brother Zhang said. You're quite perceptive. Just as he rang the doorbell, Brother Zhang turned to remind Hang Yue. Remember to be polite, just do your best, speak less. The people inside are big shots, even a slight move from them can shake Sucheng. I just hope you're truly a hidden master and not deceiving us. Okay, I remember, Hang Yue replied. A handsome young man wearing glasses came to greet them. Xiang Mingli, one of Sucheng's top 10 outstanding young talents, from a high-end real estate research and development company. Seeing them, he asked, Brother Zhang, why are you here? Brother Zhang pushed Hang Yue forward and said with a smile, Haha, my mother is worried about my uncle's condition, so she specially invited a miracle doctor here. Hang Yue raised his right hand and cheerfully introduced himself. Hello, I am Chen Hang Yue. Upon hearing the name Chen Hang Yue, Xiang Mingli immediately said, Chen Hang Yue, you're that good-for-nothing of Bai. Speaking to this point, Mingli stopped. He looked displeased at Brother Zhang and asked, Brother Zhang, are you kidding me? Brother Zhang was sweating profusely, but still tried to smile, and said, Believe me, he's not as useless as the rumors say. My mother said, a true master doesn't reveal their abilities. Those who reveal their abilities aren't true masters, Brother Zhang added cheerfully. Ming Li, listen to me. He's the one who cured my sister's illness. Just let him try. Ming Li said, There's no need. I've already invited Dr. Deng from Bao Antang. You've heard of his reputation. He'll be here soon. As for you, Mr. Chen, I'll pay you 100,000 yuan for your trouble in coming here. You can go home now. Hang Yue rested his chin on his hand and said, Mr. Xiang, you've been having headaches lately, and the area around your temples has severe throbbing pain, right? I noticed Director Xiang's face is flushed, but the dark circles under his eyes are severe. He's also occasionally short of breath when speaking. This resembles an imbalance of yin and yang, liver heat with kidney deficiency. You've also been suffering from severe insomnia recently, staying up all night for at least 7 or 8 nights straight, right? Ming Li was stunned, as if struck by lightning, and asked in surprise, Bro, you know about medicine. Xiang Ming Li clasped his hands and said, So, Dr. Chen is truly a divine physician. Ming Li was rude. Chen Hang Yue raised his hand to stop him, saying, No, I only have a superficial understanding. A voice from outside caught their attention. HMPH. It's just a common ailment of young people these days that anyone can recognize. Director Xiang, don't be fooled. In walks an old man with a sparse beard, holding a string of prayer beads, and a young girl in a pink dress following behind, carrying a wooden box. Li Ming called out loudly, Dr. Du. Hang Yue also bowed and clasped his hands, saying, Chen Hang Yue, greetings, Dr. Du. Du Shenyi simply stood there, pretending to hold one hand behind his back, aloof and superior. He coldly said, Director Xiang, there are many scams these days. Don't be deceived by this kind of person. Brother Zhang was furious, pointing his finger and saying, Hey, you old geezer, what nonsense are you spouting? Ming Li held Brother Zhang back, trying to ease the tension, and said cheerfully, Okay, Brother Zhang, don't get worked up, let's keep the peace. We're here today for treatment. Du Shenyi led his disciple in, ignoring Hang Yue. He said smugly, Good, today this old man will not only treat illnesses and save people but also expose a charlatan. Watching Du Shenyi and his disciple being led into the house by Ming Li, Brother Zhang said angrily and bitterly, The way that old geezer struts around, he's asking for a beating? Are you sure you can beat him? Today, we must beat that arrogant look off his face. Hang Yue replied with a serious expression, I'm not so sure. With the decline of traditional Chinese medicine these days, the fact that the owner of Bao'an Clinic is still so well received means he definitely has some skill. Hearing Hang Yue's words, Brother Zhang's eyes darkened, and he thought irritably, Why does everyone lack strength? Isn't he leaving a way out for himself? If he dares to embarrass me later, I'll beat them all up. Hang Yue walked ahead, saying, Strife and eagerness to win violate the original ethics of traditional Chinese medicine. Let's diagnose the illness first. After a while, Xiang Haichao, chairman of the Sioux City Medical Association, came downstairs and said happily, Oh, Xiao Cheng is here too. Brother Zhang stepped forward and took Haichao's hand, saying, Uncle, my mother was worried about your condition, so she specially invited a divine physician. Haichao replied happily, Oh, you all went to so much trouble. Ming Li also raised his hand to introduce his divine physician. Dad, this is Dr. Dugam, whom I specially invited from Bao'an Clinic. I've already told him about your condition. Dr. Dugam is very confident he can completely cure your strange illness. Du Shenyi said to Hang Yue from behind, Why don't you prepare yourself first? Hang Yue turned his head and replied cheerfully, No need. Please go ahead, Dr. Du. I'll just observe and learn from the side. Du Shenyi thought, The kid is trying to teach his grandma to suck eggs. He's probably scared now, but it's too late. Haichao rolled up his sleeves and said with a smile, Haha, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Who goes first? There's basically no hope for my illness anyway. He rolled up his sleeves for everyone to see, revealing bluish marks clinging to his skin. He said, Starting in the spring of last year, lines like green moss appeared on my body. At first, there were only a few, but now they've spread all over my body. Moreover, every rainy season, these moss lines grow more, and my whole body is in extreme pain. Du Shenyi observed his arm while saying, The air is too humid. causing evil entities to grow rampantly. If Western medicine were used, it would become infected. Hang Yue also secretly observed from behind. Du Shenyi said, Zhaoji, bring out the acupuncture needles. Immediately, the young girl named Zhaoji placed the wooden box on the table, opened it, and replied, yes, master. Then quickly spread out the roll of cloth containing the acupuncture needles on the table. Du Shenyi stood behind Haichao's head holding 2 needles, and said, as long as I use my special acupuncture technique to eliminate the yin energy and supplement it with a few doses of decoction, 1 dose in the morning, and Haichao sat calmly on the chair with his eyes closed. That's great, thank you for your hard work, Divine Dr. Du. After a moment of silence, Hang Yue thought, this isn't yin energy, it's poisoning. Facing Haichao, who was sitting on the chair with 2 needles stuck in the top of his head, he happily said, I feel much more comfortable as soon as you put the needles in. Divine Dr. Du Gray, while inserting the needles, said smugly as he turned his head, if you had found me earlier, you wouldn't have been made worse by those quack doctors. Chen Hang Yue said without changing his expression, 3-needle acupuncture to dispel cold. Explain. 3-needle acupuncture to dispel cold means inserting 3 needles at once into the patient, but each needle must be soaked in a barrel for 3 days and 3 nights. This is the most overbearing acupuncture method. Hang Yue was annoyed by Jiang Mingli, and turned his head to remind him, Brother Chen, please be quiet, don't disturb Divine Dr. Du. Divine Dr. Du was also happy to hear that, and while inserting the needles he said, you can be considered to have some knowledge, unlike those swindlers out there. Look, the green veins are disappearing gradually. Mingli rushed to see his father's arm and said happily, they really are disappearing. Divine Dr. Dugay, you truly deserve to be called a divine doctor. Divine Dr. Dugay was overjoyed to hear the praise, and pretending to be humble said loudly, I wouldn't dare to call myself a divine doctor. I'll prescribe a few more prescriptions for recuperation for a few days. Before he could finish speaking, Hang Yue sat down imposingly on the long chair, crossed his legs, and said with a confident smile, poor skill. What a pity for the title of Divine Doctor, Chen Hang Yue. I'm giving you face, only because of Brother Cheng and Uncle Zhang. Are you looking for trouble? The person who spoke was Ming Li, who continued, who in this entire Sucheng doesn't know that you're famous as a useless freeloader, and you dare to criticize Divine Dr. Du here? Divine Dr. Du Can also said complacently, it seems that pretending to be a fraud didn't work, so he started to slander people, thinking to himself, he still has the nerve to sit there so smugly, he really doesn't know what's good for him. Uncle Zhang was also annoyed and grabbed Hang Yue's shoulder, saying, I shouldn't have believed you. What does this useless guy know about medicine? Don't embarrass me here, follow me now. Hang Yue didn't change his expression and remained confident. Who exactly is pretending to be a fraud will be known in 15 minutes. Does Divine Dr. Dugay dare to wait? Divine Dr. Dugay laughed loudly upon hearing this. Ha 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 ha, ridiculous. What do I have to be afraid of? He said with a sinister smile. But I can't let you play tricks. No, no way. In 15 minutes, if Mr. Xiang is still normal, then you have to kowtow to me 3 times to apologize, kid. Do you dare to bet on this? Hang Yue sat there leisurely and replied, okay, I'll bet with you, but if your medical skills are not good, and I cure Mr. Xiang instead, then what? Uncle Zhang, while holding Hang Yue's arm, said disappointedly, don't bother with this useless guy. I brought him here, and now I'll kick him out. Divine Dr. Du, standing behind Haichao, said, if Hang Yue can cure him, then I'll acknowledge you as my teacher. Ming Li loudly stopped him. Divine Dr. Du, how can you acknowledge a useless person like him as your teacher? Uncle Zhang, standing behind Hang Yue, gritted his teeth and tried his best to pull Hang Yue up. Hang Yue remained indifferent, sitting in the chair, and said, okay, it's a deal. Uncle Zhang was startled and thought to himself, how can this be? I can even pull a car with one hand, but I can't budge this kid. This kid is obviously very weak and doesn't look like a martial artist, yet I can't pull him up. He glanced at Hang Yue, sweating profusely, and thought, what kind of deity is he? After a while, the clock struck 11:04, someone reminded. Time is almost up. Ming Li touched his father's shoulder and asked, Dad, how do you feel? Haichao replied happily. Very good, I don't feel uncomfortable at all. Divine Dr. Du closed his eyes happily and said, HMPH, he hasn't even wiped his nose clean yet and dares to question me, Uncle Zhang said in surprise. A kneeling cushion was thrown in front of the two. Du Shenyi said, you don't need to kneel straight down on the ground, I'll reward you with a cushion, just kowtow. Hang Yue didn't pay attention and just said, almost. Brother Zhang next to him was so angry he gnashed his teeth, saying, almost my ass. Don't make me lose any more face. Quickly kneel down and kowtow. Outside there was a loud sound like gunshots, booming and crashing. Hang Yue happily pointed out the window. Speak of the devil, listen. It's here. Following the lightning in the sky, a thunderous rumble shook the earth. Haichao suddenly broke out in a cold sweat, his face changed with shock, and with a groan he began to clutch his chest in pain, crying out, ah! As countless moss-like marks appeared all over his body. Ming Li cried out, Dad! Xiang Ming Li supported his father, who was unconscious and covered in sweat, turning back to loudly ask, Du Shenyi, what's wrong with my dad? Du Shenyi, now worried and flustered, said, this is impossible. This old man clearly dispelled the cold. How could encountering such rainy weather cause such a fierce backlash? How could this just be an illness? Chen Hang Yue now came over with Brother Zhang, taking out a box from his pocket, and said to everyone, of course it's not an illness, it's poison. Brother Zhang followed behind. His eyes unable to hide his surprise, Ming Li excitedly turned back to ask, Poison? How? How could this be? Hang Yue didn't answer, but went to Haichao's side, tearing off Haichao's clothes to reveal a body covered in moss-like marks, before saying, "The poison has already invaded the meridians, another 10 days or half a month, and even I would be helpless." Ming Li shouted, "What?" and took out a needle emitting a golden energy. Hang Yue said, "Hold him tight, I need to perform acupuncture." Ming Li excitedly replied, Okay. He waved his hand for a while, inserting the golden needles into Haichao's body. Du Shenyi, now agitated, clenched his fists, saying, What kind of dogshit technique is this? Hang Yue turned back with a sharp look, replying, "You don't even have this little bit of knowledge, it seems. Du Shenyi is no better than a con artist like me, huh?" Brother Zhang also took the opportunity to retaliate, adding, "Du Shenyi should be quiet, don't disturb our Chen Shenyi." Du Shenyi was fuming, grinding his teeth, saying, Let me see what kind of humiliating tricks you'll pull. Hang Yue, while performing acupuncture, seriously thought, normal acupuncture is no longer effective. I have to rely on internal energy to dispel the poison. I haven't used internal energy for 3 years now. I don't even know if I can still. A dazzling golden internal energy flowed from his hand through the needles into Haichao's head. Hang Yue was a little sweaty, thinking, Can I still hold on? No? After a long while with a light breath, phew, Haichao gradually opened his eyes and woke up in the chair. Seeing his father wake up, Ming Li happily said, He's awake, my dad's awake. Hang Yue, while withdrawing his hand, thought, That was close. A little later, and my internal energy would have been completely exhausted. Ming Li supported Haichao, happily asking nonstop, Dad, how do you feel? Are you feeling better? Haichao vaguely asked. What happened to me just now? Hang Yue glanced behind him, asking, Du Shenyi, where are you planning to go? Du Shenyi and his disciple, who were tiptoeing towards the door, were startled by Hang Yue's voice. Sweat covered his face. He turned back with a flushed face and a bright smile, saying, I'm just going to the bathroom for a moment. Du Shenyi was held back by Brother Zhang, who draped an arm over his shoulder, saying, You can go to the bathroom after you acknowledge the master. Du Shenyi forced a smile, saying, Acknowledge what, master? You're just sticking in a few needles like me. Everyone can only treat the symptoms but not the root cause. At most it can only be considered a draw. If I acknowledge him as my master, wouldn't I be at a huge loss if he relapses later? Ming Li, hearing this, worriedly asked, Chen Xiansheng, have you completely cured this disease? Hang Yue shook his head, saying, This time I've cleared the poison cleanly, but it's still not a thorough cure. Du Shenyi, hearing this, broke free from Brother Zhang's grasp and happily pointed, saying, See, it's just a fluke. He doesn't have any real skills at all, and he even wanted me to acknowledge him as a master. He's shameless. Brother Zhang worriedly asked, Then is there no way to cure it? Hang Yue pointed to the bracelet on Haichao's hand, saying, Xiang Baba, could you take off this bracelet for me to take a look at? Haichao looked at the bracelet on his hand, saying, This is a birthday gift from my daughter. I heard it's a cultural relic from Chonggu in Yunnan. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with this bracelet? Chen Hang Yue moved closer to examine the bracelet on Zhang Haichao's wrist, saying, President Xiang, you brought me a burnt-out pot of charcoal here. Ming Li quickly ordered, Yes, Butler Du Shenyi, standing at a distance, continued to sneer. Just admit it if you can't do it. Stop pretending and wasting time here. Chen Hang Yue focused on observing the bracelet on Zhang Haichao's wrist, concluding inwardly, Indeed, I wasn't wrong. The source of the poison, which Zhang was so surprised by, is in this thing. Xiang Ming Li hurriedly carried in a basin of hot charcoal. The charcoal is here, Chen Hang Yue pointed and signaled. Put it on the ground. Everyone, stay away from the charcoal basin. Ming Li did as he was told. Afterwards, Chen Hang Yue quickly pierced the bracelet with a needle. When he pulled it out to examine it, he seemed to have grasped the problem. Du Shenyi scolded loudly. What is the meaning of this? Playing tricks, President Xiang. He's deceiving you all. Now he's even ruined such an important artifact. Report him to the police. Arrest him. A poisonous insect crawled erratically in Chen Hang Yue's hand, shocking everyone present. He calmly explained before trapping the insect inside the burning charcoal to kill it at the root. To prevent theft from tombs, ancient emperors would smear a layer of potent poison on the treasures or plant insects. If someone tries to rob the tomb, the jewels are the most poisonous things. Ming Li stood beside him, mouth agape. Surprising, it's actually a poisonous insect. Xiang Haichao appreciatively and respectfully expressed. So that's it. Thank you, Dr. Chen, for saving. Ming Li bowed his head in apology. Mr. Chen, if I was disrespectful earlier, please forgive me. I was short-sighted. Lao Zhang gleefully put his arm around Du Shenyi's shoulder, saying, It's been cured at the root. Du Shenyi, do you have any last words for my brother? Lao Zhang stammered, sweating profusely. I'll take my punishment. Can I acknowledge you as my master? Chen Hang Yue quickly declined. I wouldn't dare. It was just a joke. How could I possibly ask a senior like you to kowtow and acknowledge me as master? Forget it, he thought to himself. A disciple with such poor qualifications would only ruin my reputation. No way. Never. I wouldn't acknowledge him as a teacher, even if you beat me to death. Du Shenyi quickly grabbed his things and bid farewell. Then I won't bother you any longer. Farewell. No need to see him off. Lao Zhang watched him leave speechlessly, thinking, Wow, he's fast. Xiang Haichao instructed Ming Li, go get the money and tell the kitchen to prepare food. Today I must host a feast to treat Dr. Chen. Ming Li responded briskly. Yes, I'll go immediately. Suddenly, Chen Hang Yue spoke seriously. No need to rush. There is still something important to do. Doesn't your daughter have similar symptoms? Xiang Haichao asked back, slightly panicked. Are you worried that she's also been harmed by this poison? Ming Li explained the situation to Chen Hang Yue. After my father's birthday party, I haven't seen my sister return home, but I talked to her on the phone. She didn't mention anything about not feeling well. Chen Hang Yue bowed politely. Alright, just contact me if anything comes up. No need for payment or food. I need to go home and do housework. Goodbye. Xiang Haichao urgently shouted, Ming Li, get the money. What are you standing there for? Ming Li also nodded hastily. Yes, Chen Hang Yue thought awkwardly. I didn't mean to imply that I really don't want it, he said to the father and son with resignation. If you two insist on paying me, then I'll give you a specific fee, 3 yuan. The father and son seemed to turn to stone instantly, stuttering. How much? Chen Hang Yue happily carried 2 bags of vegetables home. 30 yuan can buy plenty of vegetables. I absolutely can't let my mother-in-law know that I rejected 3 million. Or she'll probably scream loud enough to split the earth. Inside the house, the mother-in-law's playful laughter could be heard. Then a polite male voice responded, You flatter me, auntie. Standing in front of the door, Hang Yue thought awkwardly, oh crap, he forgot that his mother-in-law said she wanted to invite guests home for dinner. The conversation continued happily. I heard you just came back, so I rushed to see you. Am I being too abrupt today? Oh my, there are no outsiders here. What are you shy about? Hang Yue stood there, still dazed, thinking, just my mother-in-law and a strange man. Holy SHT. Is she secretly having an affair behind my father-in-law's back? It turned out that the person who made Hang Yue's mother-in-law so happy was Deng Anjun, the deputy director of the Department of Surgery at Su Cheng People's Hospital. Li Suyun, beaming with joy, exaggeratedly said, Xiao Deng, I didn't expect you to be even more handsome after 3 years. Deng Anjun politely replied, So are you? You're still as beautiful as ever? Is Bai Xue not home yet? Li Suyun asked, with feigned concern. Oh my, look at how anxious you are. I've already called her. She'll be back soon. Now that you're the deputy director, your annual salary must be several million, right? How many houses do you have? Deng Anjun smoothed his hair proudly and replied, The income is okay. I just bought another villa the other day. Suddenly, Li Suyun changed her attitude, snapping, Have you fed your memory to the dogs? I told you not to come back at noon. Why did you come back so early? Hang Yue replied obsequiously. It's too hot outside. The food is about to spoil. I'll put it in the refrigerator and leave right away. Deng Anjun noticed him and turned to ask, Are you Chen Hang Yue, Bai Xue's husband? Li Suyun explained snidely. They can still get divorced. They've never even consummated the marriage. My Bai Xue is a precious daughter. Deng Anjun also chimed in without any respect, mocking, Hang Yue, auntie, Bai Xue is so stunningly beautiful. Why did she marry this loser? Li Suyun joined in the scolding. See, I told you, following this idiot is just wasting the daughter I worked so hard to raise. Deng Anjun pressed closer, looking for trouble. As a man, you have no career and no talent. What right do you have to possess Bai Xue? Hang Yue felt uncomfortable but held back. Not wanting to argue any further, Bai Xue is still my wife. Get lost. Li Suyun, clinging to profit, took out her phone, intending to call Bai Xue. That's right. Oh my, Xiao Deng, you've said everything that's in my heart. I'll urge Bai Xue to come back right away. We'll talk everything out clearly today. Deng Anjun snorted smugly. Li Suyun spoke fiercely into the phone. Hello, where's Bai Xue? Tell her to answer the phone. Deng Anjun arrogantly provoked. Hang Yue. If I hadn't gone abroad to study 3 years ago, how could Bai Xue have married a penniless wretch like you? Today I'm just taking back what belongs to me. Hang Yue's blood boiled with fury. How dare you treat Bai Xue like she's an object? Are you tired of living? Li Suyun said in a panic. What? Something happened to Bai Xue? Hang Yue was shocked and terrified when he heard this. What? A moment later, a luxury car screeched to a halt by the side of the road. Li Suyun got out of the car, full of praise. Oh my, I told you, a good car is really a good car, so fast and comfortable. Deng Anjun followed behind, mocking, Driving is more convenient. If you had taken that moron's electric scooter, you'd probably still be at the traffic light intersection. Li Suyun immediately echoed the comparison. Right, been married for 3 years and can't even afford a car, what a waste. As soon as she finished speaking, Hang Yue's pink electric scooter sped past Li Suyun and Deng Anjun. On the other side, a crowd was gathering to watch the commotion. A young girl dressed scantily was live-streaming the scene. Everyone, take a look. Isn't the hospital supposed to be a place to treat the sick and save lives? I have such a serious illness. Not only did their Baishi hospital not examine me, but they even kicked me out. What kind of reasoning is this? Have the doctors' consciences been eaten by dogs? Bai Xue explained helplessly. Memis, Xiang, I've already explained it to you. Your illness is related to the reproductive system. I'm a surgeon and can't examine it. Xiang Ran, not bothering with reason, loudly retorted. Who are you trying to fool? Didn't you cure Zhang Li's rash all over her body? How come I suddenly don't know how to treat illnesses? Are you looking down on me? If you don't explain everything clearly today, don't even think about opening this rundown hospital of yours. The crowd chimed in, gossiping. That's right, what kind of doctors are you? Disappointing, completely disagree, you only like treating rich people. Bai Yao, watching the drama unfold, said maliciously. How is it? Isn't this shrew I invited quite formidable? Not only is she shrewish, but she's also a social media influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. Once she causes trouble, it'll definitely spark a wave of criticism. Grandma won't have any choice but to fire Bai Xue. Bai Xishan clicked his tongue in admiration. This borrowed knife to kill someone trick is truly brilliant. Xiang Ran fiercely grabbed Bai Xue's collar, cursing, Speak, aren't you good at arguing? No wonder you married a useless man, you're no good either. Bai Xue unexpectedly stepped back. Miss Xiang, please have some self-respect. She's becoming increasingly excessive, and even wants to tear Bai Xue's clothes. You're not worthy of wearing these clothes. Suddenly, Xiangran stumbled backward, screaming, "Ah, it hurts!" "What stabbed me?" Bai Xue hurriedly covered herself, not bothering to be polite anymore, and snapped, "What are you doing? Aren't you afraid I'll call the police?" Seeing a needle on her hand, Xiangran went crazy, scolding, "You used a needle to stab me secretly." The crowd, full of idle gossipers who were only good at discussing and commenting, buzzed with excitement. "Go harder, why did she suddenly stop? That's really weak. Do it again, what a treat for the eyes today." Bai Xue was bewildered, not understanding anything. The girl became even more aggravated, holding the needle in her hand and shouting, "Good, Bai Xue. Not only refused to treat patients but also used needles to stab patients." Xiangran said bitterly, "You dare bully me? Do you believe my dad will shut down your hospital immediately?" The live broadcast exploded with views and gossiping comments from everyone. Chen Hang Yue secretly threw a needle from the crowd. The Xiang family is usually kind to others. How could they have such a shrewish and rude daughter? The needle pierced straight into the back of the girl's hand again. She went berserk and asked the crowd, "Which one? If you have the guts, step out here." Bai Xue recognized her secret lover in the crowd, and she happily exclaimed, "Hang Yue, when did you arrive? I feel relieved now that you're here." Suddenly, Deng Yingjun, acting like a handsome man, stepped forward. Shameless. He said, "I didn't expect that after so many years you could still recognize me at first glance." He gently reassured Bai Xue, "I'm back. Don't be afraid. Leave it to me." Bai Xue didn't recognize him, hesitantly guessing. Speaking so sickeningly, could it be Deng Yingjun? He's changed too much. Xiang Rain kicked Deng Yingjun straight in the face, causing him to only let out an "ah" sound, followed by countless furious punches and kicks from her. "Was it you who stabbed me with a needle? Playing dirty behind my back? What a man, I'll kick you to death." Deng Yingjun curled up, enduring the beating, crying, "Ouch, stop hitting me. My 80,000 yuan nose," he shouted madly. "I'm the vice director of the People's Hospital in this city. How dare you hit me? Besides me, who can cure your illness?" Bai Xue coldly crossed her arms and asked, "She has a skin disease. You're a surgeon. How can you treat it?" Deng Yingjun stopped being forceful, stammering, dumbfounded. It seems Zhang Ran was enraged again, punching Deng Yingjun so hard that he vomited blood. "Another fake doctor. Doesn't even know how to treat skin diseases. Close the hospital, and burn incense to pray." Bai Xixian and Bai Yao helped Grandma Bai to come all the way here to watch the drama. Bai Xixian loudly said, "Oh my god, why is it so noisy? Bai Xue, you must want our hospital to close down to be satisfied, right?" Bai Yao spoke to calm the situation. "Girl, Miss Zheng, don't be anxious. We will definitely find a way to resolve this to your satisfaction." Xiang Ran didn't directly answer. "I want you to immediately fire this fake doctor who deceives people, and she must compensate me for my mental distress." Bai Xue blurted out. "What? How can you?" Mother Bai immediately intervened to smooth things over. Okay, I agree. As long as you don't damage our hospital's reputation, anything can be discussed." Suddenly, Hang Yu stepped forward and stated clearly, "I can cure your illness." Deng Yingjun exclaimed in surprise. Chen Hang Yue, Bai Yao frowned and said contemptuously, "Why is this good-for-nothing everywhere? Does he really think that following Bai Xue for a few years means he can act tough and curing illnesses too?" Hang Yu calmly revealed. "Your illness started appearing about half a year ago, right? Every time it rains, the pain becomes unbearable. Am I right?" Zhang Ran asked in surprise and doubt. "How do you know? Could it be that you can really cure me?" Bai Yao intervened to stop it. "Don't listen to this idiot's nonsense. Who doesn't know he's just a useless piece of trash? Let's go sit in the conference room, enjoy the air conditioning, and cool down." In her heart, she cursed the girl incessantly. This crazy woman doesn't even recognize her own family when she's mad. Originally, she only came to nitpick. She didn't expect to be cured at all. Now this Chen Hang Yue is trying to bait her. If he actually cures her, the hospital will be doomed. Xiang Ran glared and snapped at Bai Yao. "Shut up!" The girl gritted her teeth and reproached, "HMPH. After contracting this kind of illness, I've seen so many famous doctors, but nothing has worked. You're just an incompetent live-in son-in-law, yet you're boasting about curing me." Yet now she tearfully and pitifully begs, "Hang Yue, you're not lying to me, are you? You can really cure me, right?" She shamelessly stooped and pleaded incessantly, "As long as you cure my illness, I'll satisfy any request you have." Hang Yu sweated and refused immediately. "No need, I'm already my wife's man." She seriously asked, "If you don't want my body, do you want money?" Hang Yu also seriously replied, "If you want me to cure your illness, it's actually very simple. Just agree to one condition of mine." Hang Yu hugged Bai Xue and frankly requested, "I want you to do a live broadcast online in front of everyone and apologize to my wife." She flew into a rage and scolded, "What? You're deliberately messing with me in front of your wife, right? You didn't even investigate to see what kind of background Xiangran has. I'm gonna make you all close down and get out." Hang Yu calmly warned, "Your illness isn't just a simple skin disease. If it drags on for another half-month, even gods won't be able to save you." Xiangran still yelled loudly, "You dare curse me? My cousin is from the Bureau of Medical Products Administration. Wait until he comes and exposes you. Just wait to be finished." The surroundings erupted in noisy chatter. Everyone, regardless of the truth, just focused on criticizing. The Bureau of Medical Products Administration runs to hospitals every few days to find fault. If the reception isn't perfect, they'll lightly fine you and heavily revoke your medical license. This time, our hospital won't escape disaster. Bai Xue, why did you marry such a troublemaker? Quickly kick this jinx out of your house. Letting him stay is just a disaster waiting to happen. Is this useless thing finally to your liking? We're all about to live on the bare minimum, all thanks to you. Li Suyun helped the bruised and battered Deng Yingjun and scolded loudly. Chen Hang Yue, you're really a jinx. You want to kill us all to be satisfied, right? In his heart, Deng Yingjun resentfully harbored hatred for Chen Hang Yue. Don't be too arrogant. If you anger Xiang Ran, no one will pick up your corpse. Bai Xue worriedly called his name, Hang Yu. He firmly Suddenly, a majestic voice boomed. Make way, don't block the path. It turned out to be Su Chengzhang, the captain of the enforcement brigade of the Bureau of Medicine and Pharmaceuticals, who happened to be patrolling nearby and received a complaint from a city resident. Which quack is deceiving people? If the crime is too serious, the medical practice certificate will be directly revoked. Seeing a familiar face for support, Xiang Ran immediately snitched. Cousin, these two bitches are colluding to deceive and frame me. That Bai Xue is the mastermind. Xiang Tai grunted in agreement, and after taking a look at Bai Xue, he thought lecherously, oh, this one is fresh, just my type. He accused Bai Xue, right? You are suspected of impersonating a doctor. Come with me to the bureau to cooperate with the investigation. Bai Xue cautiously hid behind Hang Yu. No, it's not me, Hang Yu. Grabbed the hands that Xiangsu was reaching out. He tightened his grip and rebuked. Since when did the Bureau of Medicine and Pharmaceuticals have the right to arrest people? Which regulation stipulates that? Bring it here, let me see. Xiangsu angrily trembled and tried to appear unflinching. You little punk, your grip is too strong. A rather familiar voice spoke up. Stop, all of you, stop. Xiang Mingli arrived and said sternly. Disregarding your status and causing a ruckus in front of the public. Who gave you the guts to do that? Xiang Ran was gleefully overjoyed. Brother, you've come to help me. She ran to Xiang Mingli's side, not forgetting to turn around and shout. You guys are dead this time. Do you know my brother? One of the top 10 outstanding youths in Sucheng, a famous entrepreneur, saying that the Bureau of Medicine and Pharmaceuticals doesn't have the right to arrest people? My brother can call the police to shackle you all. Xiang Su, who was majestic earlier, also became submissive in front of Xiang Mingli. Brother, why are you here too? I can handle them myself, no need for you to bother. Xiang Mingli ignored what they were saying, went straight to Hang Yu, bowed deeply, and apologized. Chen Shansheng, I am truly sorry. My younger sister and cousin's brains aren't very good. I hope you can be magnanimous and forgive them. I am willing to compensate for all the losses of the Bai Xue hospital. After seeing the most powerful person in the Xiang family, bowing and apologizing in front of Chen Hang Yue, both the younger sister and cousin were dumbfounded. Even the Bai family from Sucheng Hospital was as well. Bai Xue couldn't help but cast an admiring look in his direction. Hang Yu said softly. Like your name, Xiangzong is still so reasonable. The younger sister stepped forward resentfully and said, Brother, are you crazy? You have to be polite to this good-for-nothing. The response to that question was a slap to her face, Xiangzong said angrily with a face full of resentment. I'm saving you. Shut your mouth. Even the cousin standing next to her was scared. The wronged younger sister pouted with tears in her eyes and said, Brother, you dare to hit me. You actually dare to hit me. Even Dad has never hit me, Xiangzong cursed directly. You stinky bitch. Do you even have the face to mention Dad? Do you know that the bracelet you gave almost killed Dad? I can never contact you. If I hadn't seen you live streaming, I wouldn't even know where you were. Realizing that her brother wasn't joking, she gradually realized the mistake here. What? You said Dad also. Everyone's eyes turned to Xiang Zhu. He sighed, adjusted his glasses, and glared at her, shouting, Fortunately, Dr. Chen saved him, otherwise you would be the sinner of the whole family. Quickly apologize to your benefactor. If you want to live, you have to see Dr. Chen's mood. On the other hand, Chen Hang Yue was carefree, whistling. After a while, he said indifferently, Sorry, I'm not in the mood to save her anymore. The cousin went crazy and wanted to confront him. Don't push your luck. Believing him, Xiangzong immediately stepped forward and slapped him to bring him to his senses. He barked roughly. You trash! What right do you have to arbitrarily revoke someone's doctor's license? Even if your bureau chief comes, he has to investigate the evidence before giving the order. You're just an probationary employee. What are you showing off for? Hearing his senior scold him like this, he suddenly looked aggrieved and pitiful, and said earnestly, I won't dare to do it again in the future. Show me some mercy this time. I definitely won't forgive him. President Jiang pinned his head down and stomped on it, and instructed, What's the use of apologizing to me? Apologize to these two right now. Ow. Ouch. The director's cousin knelt before Chen Hang Yue and Bai Xue, resentfully apologizing. Mr. Chen, I shouldn't have laid a hand on you just now, nor on Dr. Bai Xue. It was my mistake to put you in a difficult position. I'll take my people and get far away, ensuring that I won't disturb your daily work and the Bai Xue hospital. These tragic words were already a topic slowly discussed among everyone. Oh my god, am I dreaming? Xiang Tai is actually bowing his head and apologizing? And apologizing to that good-for-nothing. I've been bullied by him for 3 years and now I see him being this cowardly. Bai Xue stood up and spoke on his behalf. Everyone has their moments of foolishness. It's good to acknowledge your mistakes and correct them. In the future, Captain Xiang just needs to perform his duties properly. Seeing Bai Xue say that, Chen Hang Yue smiled and continued with his eyes closed. If my wife has already forgiven you, then I have nothing more to say. Xiang Tai then knelt again repeatedly. Thank you, Dr. Bai. Thank you, divine Dr. Chen. Now it was the turn of the director Xiang's cousin to kneel down abruptly. With tears in her eyes, she took out her phone to livestream, stuttering. Dr. Bai Xue, in front of the crowd watching this livestream, I sincerely apologize to you. Doctor, please have mercy and save me. This green fungus disease is really driving me crazy. If Bai Yao hadn't told me that you could cure any disease, I wouldn't have come to you for treatment today. Yuan Hui Yi Su Cheng was shocked. What, Granny Bai turned to accuse Bai Yao. Bai Yao, did you do this? Get out of the hospital for me immediately, and never come back. Bai Yao flusteredly waved his hands and tried to defend himself. No, it wasn't me, Granny. Bai Xue rushed forward and kicked Bai Yao in the back. Hurry up and apologize to Bai Xue, you beast. And just like that, Bai Yao and Bai Xue, in front of so many people, knelt down and said, I'm sorry, Bai Xue. I was temporarily confused and my mind was deceived. Please forgive me. Can you?
Bai Xue, please show some mercy since we're relatives. Seeing that it still wasn't enough, Chen Hang Yue raised his chin and spoke for Bai Xue. You guys almost got my wife arrested. Just an apology isn't enough. Knowing everything, Chen Hang Yue cocked his head up and said to Bai Yao and Bai Xishan, you almost got my wife arrested, so you'll have to show some sincerity.
How about this? You guys serve my wife tea and water for a month and do whatever she says. This condition isn't too much, is it? While they're suffering clinical shame, he'll take the pride of these two.
Bai Xishan and Bai Yao were furious and unwilling, shouting back,
What? Have you eaten a leopard's gall? Why don't you pee and take a look at yourself? Granny Bai stood beside them, glaring at the two. Either accept it or get out. The two didn't dare to go against her, so they immediately knelt down and begged, Bro, no problem, okay? Actually, in their hearts, they were still very bitter towards him. The forest is still there, so don't worry about running out of firewood, kid. We're not done yet.
In any case, Chen Hang Yue knew these two's personalities well, so he lightly replied, Everyone can be a witness, so I believe you won't go back on your word.
After that matter, Granny Bai couldn't stand the humiliating scene and turned to leave, not threatening Bai Yao, demote Bai Yao to an intern doctor starting today, and have him intern in Bai Xue's department.
Whether or not he could become an official doctor will be decided by Bai Xue.
At this moment, that guy was still desperately begging, What, Granny? You can't do this.
Bai Xishan turned around and shouted loudly, Shut up! Just when they thought everything was settled, the Xiang cousin stood up and walked towards Chen Hang Yue, asking, So, can you treat my illness now?
He waved his hand, scratching his head, and shook his head, saying, This? Well, I can't completely control how it works.
She turned to Bai Xue with tears in her eyes, begging, Dr. Bai, please save me.
I really don't want to die. Only you can save me, Bai Xue, hearing her reluctant words, also stammered, Okay.
Looking at her tearful and haggard face, Bai Xue turned to look at him and said, Hang Yue, why don't you help her?
Because of his doting nature towards his wife, Hang Yue immediately replied, Since my wife has spoken, then please, follow me.
Standing here to detoxify will scare everyone. She was overjoyed and kept yelling, Thank you. Seeing Bai Xishan and Bai Yao blocking the door, Hang Yue glared at the two and said, Good dogs don't block the way. After letting Hang Yue escort her younger sister in, Madame Bai, on behalf of Su Hong, stepped forward, clasped her hands and said, The misunderstanding has been cleared up. Everyone should disperse now.
Not thinking it was enough, Bai Xishan even pointed and shouted loudly, Disperse!
Disperse, what's there to see? After everyone left, the generous but also secretive Anjun stepped forward and said, Bai Xue, congratulations.
Bai Xue, the matter has been resolved. How about a celebration tonight? I'll treat you and your aunt to a meal. Adding to the encouragement, Li Su-yun, the snobbish mother who values status, brightly chimed in, That's right, daughter, let's go. Bai Xue was unmoved by his invitation. She coldly turned her head and said, If I'm celebrating, I want to celebrate with Hang Yue. Without him, who could have solved this trouble today? Anjun, feeling delusional, smoothed his hair to look handsome, and looked into her eyes, saying, All right, he's just a show-off. I bet he orchestrated the whole thing himself. When it comes to medical skills, I don't believe a live-in son-in-law like him can surpass the youngest attending physician in Sioux City, which is me. A shining halo surrounds me, Anjun. My features are the source of your infatuation. And, as before, she ignored Anjun's words, delivering a painfully obvious rejection. As Hang Yue came out, she ran over and asked, Was it smooth? Hang Yue smiled and replied, Yeah, but she fainted from the fright. Xiangming Li is taking care of her. She frowned, moved closer to him, and scolded. This time, don't try to gloss over things with traditional Chinese medicine. I'll interrogate you when we get home. Hearing her say that, Hang Yue broke out in a cold sweat. Oh my god, how embarrassing. Because of the conversation just now, Anjun gestured towards his supercar and called out, Bai Xue, are you going home?
Ride in my car, I'll take you home. Bai Xue hooked her arm around Hang Yue's arm and retorted, No need, Hang Yue can give me a ride.
Being embraced so tightly by her, Hang Yue's face turned red with delight. Wow, so satisfying. Hearing this, Anjun pointed at his old electric scooter and laughed mockingly. Ha, you mean that beat-up electric scooter? I thought some family was throwing away scrap. I didn't expect people to still ride electric scooters in this day and age.
Chen Hang Yue, you're really something. Anjun seized the opportunity to humiliate him to the fullest, and the malicious mother also yelled at her foolish daughter, Do you think you're a servant?
You don't ride such a fancy car. Instead, you ride this beat-up electric scooter. Anjun, this car of yours can buy 100 of these electric scooters, right? Echoing her enthusiasm, Anjun pretended to be modest, revealed part of the car keychain, and raised his glasses, saying, I don't know either. What if it's an expensive electric scooter? Anyway, this car of mine is only worth 3 or 4 million. It's not considered expensive. Bai Xue felt disgusted with his words. Suddenly, Xiangming Li called out, Divine Dr. Chen. He had someone bring over a supercar and said respectfully to him, We really feel bad that you won't accept payment for the treatment. We don't have anything else, so please accept this as a gift. Now that I see you're lacking a modern means of transportation, my beat-up car is only worth 8 million. I hope you'll accept it. And so, An Jun was so jealous that he almost vomited blood, just because of the words, "This beat-up car is only worth 8 million." Recalling An Jun's tragic face when he heard that Hang Yue was gifted an 8 million car, Bai Xue laughed in the car and said, "Ha ha ha. Did you see Deng An Jun's expression just now? I'm dying of laughter." Hang Yue smiled back at her. "Xiangming Li really has good eyes. This favor he's—" Bai Xue, who was next to him, held back and said, "Anyway, he saved 2 of his family members in a row. It's only natural to thank him generously." Suddenly, the old woman, Li Su-yun, spoke bluntly. "Humph. He's still too stingy." She's in the back seat of the car taking selfies and showing them off to distant relatives and neighbors, saying, "If it were me, in addition to the car, at least a luxurious villa would have to be given as a gift." Chen Hang Yue and Bai Xue, seeing this scene, cautiously asked, "What we're curious about is why our mother isn't riding in Deng Yingjun's car." Oh, his friend circle is full of her selfies. As night fell, Chen Hang Yue was still cultivating as usual at home, using acupuncture needles to prick the acupoints on his legs. Suddenly, the spiritual energy radiated even more violently, causing considerable pressure. Chen Hang Yue, sweating, thought to himself, "I was forced to show my skills today, and the news will spread quickly. I must quickly break through the first level." After a struggle with the imbalance of energy, the needles finished transmitting energy, went out, and fell to the ground. Hang Yue was exhausted. He quickly supported himself with both hands on the ground, still panting heavily, his heart rate soaring. Ha ha. He struggled to look at the phone to check the time, suspended for 35 seconds, which is considered a bit of progress. While he was wondering what to do, the door suddenly opened slightly, making Hang Yue a little confused. Bai Xue, wearing pajamas, quietly entered and said shyly to him, "Mom won't let you turn on the air conditioner in the living room. It's very hot, right? Do you want to sleep in my room?" The young man blushed, his mind in a mess, embarrassed but boldly replied, "Of course, it's even hotter, extremely hot." A moment later, Chen Hang Yue carried his pillow, gently pushed the door open, and said, "I'm done showering." On the bed, on the other hand, Bai Xue said seductively with a suggestive sleeping posture, "Okay, then go to sleep quickly." Beyond imagination, Chen Hang Yue's mind had a deafening sound of a motor exploding, leading to this embarrassing blush. He stammered, Okay. Hang Yue gulped and gently stepped towards the soft bed. So I'll come here, hmm? Hang Yue slowly put his foot on the bed, supporting himself with one hand. He can be said to be very excited. Now his whole body is eager in his heart. His heart gradually had very hot thoughts. It's been 2 years. Chen Hang Yue can finally get into bed. Chastity is bullshit. Tonight, I will ride my horse fast. Looking at the beautiful and seductive Bai Xue, he couldn't restrain himself anymore, pouring all his heart and soul into thinking, "Bai Xue, I'm coming." Chen Hang Yue gently reached out to touch Bai Xue's beautiful white shoulder. Bai Xue woke up, turned over, and seeing Chen Hang Yue reaching out, not understanding his intention, she said, "What are you standing there blankly for? Hurry up and turn off the lights and go to sleep. I have to get up early to go to work tomorrow." Hang Yue, hearing this, also collapsed and lost interest. He blankly replied, I should still sleep on the floor." The panicked and pale expression made her even more confused. After adjusting for a moment, Hang Yue had to spread a blanket and lie on the floor again, his eyes filled with tears, thinking to himself with resentment, "Don't cry. Be strong. I'm already in the bedroom. Just a little bit more, Chen Hang Yue, my little brother. For the great ideal, endure it." On the other hand, while listening to Hang Yue crying because he couldn't sleep with her, Bai Xue blushed and smiled, thinking, "I'm sorry. Try to be patient a little longer, I'm not ready yet." The next morning, the old mother Li Su-yun found out about yesterday's depraved affair and scolded. "What? You two slept together?" Bai Xue said coldly. "It's so hot. What's wrong with letting Hang Yue sleep in the air-conditioned room?" Mom didn't want him to turn on the air conditioner in the living room either. And besides, we didn't sleep in the same bed. So she slammed the dining table angrily and turned to scold the innocent. "Hang Yue, I warn you, don't think that just because you tricked us out of a fancy car you can do whatever you want." The father Bai Xishan stepped in to stop her. Okay, that's enough. But Hang Yue still felt a bit resentful in his heart. He hadn't even gotten anything done, and was scolded again. Hey, Dao Yi wasn't as wronged as I am. And it can be said that this is a situation similar to the Chinese fairy tale. Dao Yi was wrong. Suddenly, Bai Xishan smiled mysteriously, moved closer to him, and whispered, "Keep it up, Dad's waiting to hold his grandson." He immediately blushed, and replied awkwardly, "I'll do my best." Li Su-yun, accidentally overheard, ran over and smacked Bai Xishan on the head, followed by a curse, "Shut your mouth." After a while, having finished getting ready, Hang Yue still took Bai Xue to work on his classic electric scooter. Suddenly, she sighed, and complained about her mother's personality. "I can't stand my mom anymore, she's always scolding you." "Isn't she still driving that car back to the countryside to show off?" Chen Hang Yue gently told her. "It's okay, anyway, I don't want to drive a bee." Suddenly his eyes shifted to look at Bai Xue's exposed chest, his face flushed red, and he happily added, "Electric scooters are still better." Bai Xue was confused by his suggestive words. A few minutes later, he brought Bai Xue to the hospital. As soon as she got off the scooter, she instructed him, "Go in and rest for a while. I'm sure no one will chase you away now." Hearing the phone ring, Chen Hang Yue put his hand in his pocket, took it out, and turned to reply to her. "Okay, let me answer the phone first, then I'll come in late." Bai Xue nodded, then solemnly walked into the hospital. Chen Hang Yue answered the phone, rudely saying, "What is it? Didn't I say not to call me, unless it's urgent?" The other end retorted resentfully, "Dao, you're really a beast who's lost all humanity. You're so proud now that you're living as a live-in son-in-law. You don't even want to answer my calls. Annoyed by the other person's tone, Chen Hang Yue gritted his teeth and said, seething with anger, "What is it? Spit it out." The other end immediately shouted, Okay, I see through you now. Besides me, there's no good man in this world. In a certain villa, the other end, actually, Lu Yuan, spoke in an excited tone. He bragged about his achievements. "Let me tell you, my brother, you left me a few million as business capital at the beginning. Do you know how many times it's multiplied now? 100 million? Are you excited? Are you happy? See how awesome I am?" According to the youth Lu Yuan, Chen Hang Yue, now with a pretentious air, coldly replied, "Yeah, so." Lu Yuan was annoyed upon hearing this. He loudly said, "Why didn't I just strangle you to death? Can't you praise me for once?" Unable to stand his stubbornness, Lu Yuan's head ached. He sighed and added, Forget it, I've sent someone to bring you the money. Spend it on whatever you want, don't always put on that poor and humble facade. Disdaining others is human nature, don't overestimate people's hearts. Chen Hang Yue quickly replied, "Got it." Hanging up, a beep sounded. Lu Yuan put away his phone, blaming Chen Hang Yue. "Hey da, why doesn't such a cheap life know how to enjoy itself at all?" A moment later, he turned to look at a blonde maid cleaning the floor, and forcefully instructed, "Clean it thoroughly, or I'll deal with you." The maid immediately turned around and obeyed. "Yes, master." Back to Chen Hang Yue, he had some unsympathetic thoughts about Lu Yuan. This kid Lu Yuan is really formidable. He's made so much money in just 3 years. With a little money, he'll definitely keep 3 maids for himself. Just as he stepped into the hospital, a flower was immediately thrown out of the door, accompanied by Bai Xue's voice. "Anyone who likes this flower can take it. I don't want it anyway." Chen Hang Yue was stunned. He went to see what was going on, and saw Bai Xue loudly arguing with the nurse. The nurse held a letter in her hand, fearfully saying, "Chief Deng also said to invite you to the Hanyu Pavilion at 7:00 p.m. tonight to attend the class reunion." Hearing Deng Yingjun's name, she immediately shouted, "I'm not going." Chen Hang Yue silently stepped forward and snatched the letter from the nurse's hand. "Let me see." Inside he had written, "Bai Xue, I'm inviting our classmates to the Hanyu Pavilion for dinner at 7:00 p.m. tonight. You must come." And the remaining lines can be considered a challenge to Chen Hang Yue, because he also welcomed him to come and experience the world. After reading it, Chen Hang Yue suddenly laughed mysteriously, arrogantly saying, "Experience the world, huh? Is he provoking me?" Bai Xue loudly tried to stop him. He ignored her. She didn't understand what was going on. "We're not going." He suddenly acted, crushing the letter in his hand, causing Bai Xue to be stunned. The next second, Chen Hang Yue, now a wife-protecting maniac, stepped up to the challenge. "You sent the challenge. How can you forfeit before the battle even begins?" After receiving the challenge letter from Deng Yingjun, Chen Hang Yue and Bai Xue arrived at the Ham Guiet Lao Hotel. Standing in front of this high-end hotel, Hang Yue clicked his tongue. Tuski tusk. No wonder it's the most luxurious hotel in Sutan. It really exudes an imposing aura. Suddenly, Bai Xue's voice came from behind him. "What are you thinking? You clearly knew I'd be provoked, but you still dragged me here, and even told me to dress like this. What are you implying?" Hang Yue turned around and saw Bai Xue wearing a pristine white dress, radiating elegance. He cheerfully stepped forward and gently nudged her. "Hey, we're going to a party. Of course we have to dress up a bit." Meanwhile, in the banquet hall, Zheng Hui, Deng Yingjun's crony, was beaming, basking in the praise from their classmates. "Haha, Yingjun, back then I knew you'd be the most successful one in our class." Of course, he's already a PhD. From studying abroad at such a young age, don't forget to help your brothers out when you're rich. We were deskmates back then. Praises continued incessantly, full of expectations for the future, as well as unique requests. "I'm in the cigarette and alcohol business now, give me a hand. Later when I go to the hospital, I'll tell them I'm your friend. That should work." Deng Yingjun seemed indifferent, smiling mysteriously and coldly. Okay, simple." Then he pulled out his phone to check something. Just then, Hang Yue led Bai Xue, who seemed a little awkward, into the banquet hall. He said cheerfully, "Sorry we're late." Everyone was stunned by her radiant beauty. Almost not recognizing her, Deng Yingjun stood up in confusion and pulled out a chair. "Bai Xue is here, please have a seat." But Hang Yue rushed ahead, as if knowing what he was up to, took the seat first, and said, "Thanks, so kind of you." He turned to Bai Xue and said, "My love, you sit too. We're late so we can't sit next to each other, what a pity." This bizarre situation left Yingjun's fat friend and him speechless, seething with anger. Bai Xue smiled at his naivety and replied, "Okay." As soon as she sat down, Yingjun's friend next to her blushed as if he had just seen an angel descend from heaven. While Hang Yue was leisurely sipping water, the fat friend leaned into Yingjun's ear and grumbled, "I've long heard that our great beauty had to marry a useless live-in husband who does nothing, with a face as thick as a wall. Seeing is believing. It's truly eye-opening." The more the fat friend grumbled, the more resentful Yingjun became every time he looked at Hang Yue. "Damn it, ruining my good deed. I'll definitely deal with you tonight." So he yelled, "Bring on the food." A minute later, the waitresses brought up dozens of luxurious dishes. From appetizers to desserts, everyone was shocked. Some even took out their phones to take pictures and post. "Wow, Ham Gayet Lamau truly lives up to its name. So luxurious. A table full of food like this must cost at least 10,000 T. Then you don't understand. Even if you have money, you can't necessarily book a table at Ham Gayet Lavu." Suddenly the fat friend smirked. "Do you know that even the director of Suthan wants to eat at Ham Gayet Lao? He has to book a month in advance? But our director Deng only needs to book 3 days in advance, and it's all done." Yingjun raised his glass, pretending to be modest.
Oh, why talk about this? We old friends are here to reminisce. No need to show off.
His friends seemed to have worshipped him too much, so everyone was sensible. For example, one person stepped forward and poured wine meticulously for him. Director Deng is really too amazing. Having a classmate like you, I can get some credit when I go out.
The fat friend nodded repeatedly. That's right, that's right. Now satisfied with that, Yingjun, those bad-tempered friends glared at Hang Yue, frowning and looking down on him. Just Bai Xue. Back then, Yingjun pursued you, but you didn't agree. Look at your husband now. I feel sorry for you.
The fat friend's shrewish girlfriend also chimed in. I heard your husband has been unemployed at home for 3 years. Not even a menial job, right?
Hearing them attacking Hang Yue, Bai Xue reluctantly stood up to defend him. Hang Yue is studying at home. I don't need him to go out and find a job.
And of course, these despicable villains took the opportunity to attack Hang Yue to the end. How can that be? What kind of man would let his wife work hard out?
Your husband probably can't find a job, right? How about I introduce one for him? Our company just had a 70-year-old janitor retire, and we're short-handed. The monthly salary is 100 yuan. I think it's perfect for your husband.
Our city hospital is also short of a nurse's aide. All you have to do is empty bedpans for patients. That's also very suitable for someone who's lazy and doesn't do much.
How about it? Interested.
Chen Hang Yue is still silently enduring their shameless words. Deng Anjun still doesn't feel it's enough, and with a sneering smile, moves closer to curse him.
Chen Hang Yue, do you know why I wanted to invite you here?
It's because I'm giving Bai Xue some face. I bet you've never tasted such delicious food in your life. After all, you can't even afford a glass of water here. After finishing his scolding, he laughs in satisfaction, and his gang of fighting friends join in the laughter. Unable to bear these words and actions, Bai Xue slams the table in anger. She jumps up and shouts, Deng Anjun, don't push people too far. This fatty is a little annoyed by her stubbornness, so, even though he frowns, he still tries to persuade her. Bai Xue, haven't you woken up yet? Anjun is just trying to be good to you? And Jun follows up, giving her face. That's right, this idiot is simply not worthy of you. If he can't even afford a meal, how can he give you a future? Faced with this wave of public opinion, Hang Yue only gives a nonchalant chuckle. Bai Xue pats his shoulder and whispers, Hang Yue, don't be angry with these kinds of people, let's go home. You don't know how expensive the food at Hanyu is? Even a plate of green vegetables costs several hundred yuan. He sits there with a slight smile, then turns to gently take her hand and says, Trust me, I have my own plans. Sit down and wait. Although she's puzzled, she's somewhat reassured after hearing him say that, and replies, okay then, but no matter what, don't force yourself. Chen Hang Yue leisurely pours wine, while Deng Anjun turns and shouts, Waiter, the bill. The waitress enters, bowing politely, holding a bill and a card reader, gently saying, Hello, Mr. Deng. The total is 214.96 yuan. Would you like to swipe your card or pay in cash? He points towards Chen Hang Yue, his voice full of fake sincerity. It's not me paying, it's Mr. Chen Hang Yue here. The girl follows the direction of his hand and sees the man, unable to help but think. A 30 yuan jacket bought from a street stall, and the shirt, tisk, the collar, is already worn to shreds. Good heavens! Is this a place where any Tom, Dick, or Harry can come in? She curtly asks. This gentleman, do you have the money to pay? Chen Hang Yue calmly replies, I'll pay with cash. Causing Deng Anjun to be quite stunned, and everyone in his group thinks to themselves, could it be that this guy actually has money, and he was just playing dumb to trap a tiger? He glances over warily, his pores seem to open up and sweat pours out. Surely this brat didn't sell that fancy car, did? Chen Hang Yue suddenly cries out, oh, he pulls out the money. Frowning, it seems like it's not enough. At this moment, Deng Anjun breathes a sigh of relief. What are you pretending for? Your acting is pretty good, huh? You scared the crap out of me. Chen Hang Yue turns to the waitress and says, Wait a moment, I've already told someone to bring the money. They'll be here soon. The girl beside him grinds her teeth, angrily not knowing what to say. HMPH. So typical of Deng Anjun. On one hand, smug. Fine, let me pay. Isn't it just 40,000 yuan? You're so pathetic. He holds out the card, acting super handsome. Bai Xue only silently listens to the surrounding chatter. Bai Xue must see what kind of person you are now, right? Bai Xue, how did you end up with such a useless husband? It's one thing to not have money, but he's so smug when he lies, I feel sorry for you. Suddenly, a man appears outside, knocking on the door. He asks, Excuse me, is this the reunion for Class 18 of the 2009 graduating class of Shuhui High School? The person turns out to be President Wang. Seeing the figure, Deng Anjun is overjoyed, eagerly reaching out to greet him. Oh my, I was just organizing a meal for some old classmates. Why would you bother to come all this way? In his heart, he's thinking, damn, I couldn't get an appointment with him the other day no matter how hard I tried. But today, he actually came here on his own. But that's good too, it's a good opportunity for me to show off. The two girls beside him, Lian, just smile and praise. Anjun is really amazing, he has such wide connections. The man next to him chimed in, This gentleman is the general manager of Han Yu Restaurant. Rumor has it that General Wang isn't easy to get close to. We have to latch onto this big shot. General Wang politely shook Deng Aijun's hand and asked, Hello, may I ask who you are? He happily replied, I'm Deputy Director Deng from the People's Hospital. A comrade in arms of my father is neighbors with your cousin. He bluntly said something that made him so ashamed that he wanted to dig a hole and bury himself. Oh, no impression, but we can get to know each other gradually in the future. I came here to find someone. He froze upon hearing this, only able to reply, okay then. He asked everyone, May I ask, which one of you is Mr. Chen Hang Yue? He raised his hand in response. That's me," making the man next to him gape in astonishment, spitting out a mouthful of the water he had just drunk. General Wang directly ignored Deng Aijun, leaving him both surprised and angry. Helplessly unsure of what to do, he enthusiastically approached Chen Hang Yue, beaming, "I've admired you for so long. I didn't know you were coming, so I wasn't able to greet you from afar." He shook his hand, bowing at a 90-degree angle, and politely asked, "Is there anything you're not satisfied with regarding the food today?" Chen Hang Yue casually replied, "It's all right, but it seems the stir-fried vegetables are a bit overcooked. They need to be changed a bit. It's rare for my wife to participate in class reunions. She isn't enjoying the meal very much." The waitress at the side took all of this into her eyes, grinding her teeth together once again, trembling all over, filled with worry. Upon hearing this, General Wang decisively said, "Understood. All expenses in this dining hall today are on me. I'll fire that chef right now. What dishes would you like to eat? I'll have another chef prepare them." Everyone at the table witnessed everything. Unable to stop their jaws from dropping, their eyes widened to their fullest extent. General Wang is too polite. This gathering was organized by Deng Aijun, so let's go with his tastes. Chen Hang Yue happily replied. The two were shaking hands jovially, when suddenly a loud shout came from outside the door, and they both looked out in surprise. The waitress frantically ran in, shouting, In the lobby, there's a child who has fallen into a coma. It seems to be due to food poisoning." A loud shout rang out. Food poisoning? How could something like that happen with the food at your Hanyu restaurant? Deng Aijun's face turned green, filled with fear, his hands involuntarily clutching his stomach. General Wang turned to reassure him. "Impossible. It's definitely not from our food." He had a calculation in his mind. If this matter wasn't handled carefully, the reputation of Hanyu restaurant would be completely ruined. Bai Xue calmly said loudly. "Has an ambulance been called? Food poisoning requires immediate treatment. There can be no delay." She slammed her hands on the table, and everyone in the room stirred into an uproar. "It's been called, but right now is rush hour. I'm afraid the ambulance won't arrive in time." The man pointed towards Jun. "Isn't there a doctor right here?" "Our Jun is the deputy director and doctor of the People's Hospital of the city. You guys are too lucky." Deng Jun couldn't help but feel guilty upon hearing these words, turning his face away. General Wang smiled upon hearing this. "That's great then." He was scared at this time, hurriedly changing the subject. He secretly complained. "That damn fatso, all you're good for is talking big. A registration fee for me is hundreds of yuan. How could I possibly treat someone outside of the hospital? Moreover, what if I can't cure them? I'll definitely be ridiculed. Wouldn't that be too unlucky?" Chen Hang Yue calmly replied, "It's in the lobby, right? Saving someone is urgent. Let's go over there first." Bai Xue also hurriedly followed. "I'm also a doctor. Let me see what's going on." The two of them walked straight past Deng Yingjun, who was standing in front of them. He stammered, wait for me." In his heart, he was filled with resentment. How could I lose to that good-for-nothing? The situation in the hall was a bit chaotic. Two people, who seemed like the child's parents, with tears in their eyes, kept encouraging their child. "Honey, you have to hang in there." The husband was also very worried. Why hasn't the ambulance arrived yet? The baby was in the mother's arms, looking quite tragic. Bai Xue, who had arrived by this time, said to everyone around, "Excuse me, please let me through. I'm a doctor from Bai Xue Hospital." Seeing the baby, she hurriedly asked, "How long has the baby been like this?" Her hand was placed on the baby's forehead to check the temperature. The mother replied, "It's been about 5 minutes." The baby suddenly vomited violently, and then fainted. Everyone around was very surprised when they heard Bai Xue's words, Bai Xue Hospital. Does Su Cheng even have this hospital? It must be a family hospital. The kind that only knows how to make money, and doesn't care about human lives. Deng Yingjun appeared at this moment, with a smug smile, adjusting his tie, putting on an impressive air. "Let me take a look. I'm the deputy director of the City People's Hospital." The mother, hearing this, ignored Bai Xue, who was standing there, and ran crying towards him with her child in her arms. She accidentally bumped into Bai Xue, but she didn't even care, just shouted, Doctor, please save my child." "Over here," Yingjun said to the mother. "Put the baby down. Let me see what's going on." The mother complied, hurriedly placing her small child on the floor, replying, Okay. Chen Hang Yue turned to ask Bai Xue. "A fever," she replied. "Yes, at least 38 degrees, with symptoms of convulsions." After hearing this, he thought to himself, vomiting, cold sweats, convulsions. Could it be that kind of illness? If it's really that, then it's a bit difficult. Deng Yingjun, after a moment of examination, calmly said, "There's nothing to worry about. It's just a normal fever, plus the child's stomach is quite weak. They must have eaten something bad." Hearing these words, Chen Hang Yue couldn't help but exclaim, "That's not right. It's not as simple as you say. It's very likely that the baby has contracted an acute infectious virus." Hearing these words, he felt insulted, pointed at Chen Hang Yue and said, "Hey Chen, are you a doctor? You're just good at talking nonsense. Disregarding my authority, you're rebelling? If you don't know, then don't pretend, okay?" Another person chimed in. "It's a matter of life and death. Why are you putting on airs? Get out of here." The father next to him was no less fierce, grabbing Chen Hang Yue's vest and shouting straight into his face, "My child is very healthy. You're the one with an acute infection. Your whole family's infected." At this moment, Chen Hang Yue's expression didn't change at all. He calmly said, "I hope you can calm down a bit. I have my reasons." Deng Yingjun, not caring about the situation in front of him, hurriedly said to the waitress, "Bring the ice bucket from that table over here for me. Applying it to the forehead can reduce the fever." The girl softly said, "Okay." The father was still not over his anger. Although Chen Hang Yue was being grabbed and assaulted, he didn't forget to worry about the baby, and shouted loudly, "You can't use ice, you'll kill her!" The girl, holding the ice, turned to look at Chen Hang Yue. Yingjun said with a contemptuous look, "A useless guy who's never studied medicine still wants to fool me." Bai Xue, you're a surgery doctor who graduated from a regular medical university. Tell me, should a child with a high fever use physical cooling methods? He was still holding the bag of ice. The man turned to threaten, "Shut your mouth, otherwise, don't blame me for being rude." Chen Hang Yue couldn't help but grit his teeth. At this moment, the man took the bag of ice and applied it to the forehead of the baby, who was lying motionless on the floor, smiling at the mother. "My name is Deng Yingjun. Remember to come to the hospital in a few days to give me a commendation medal," the mother replied. "Definitely, definitely." The baby, with the ice applied to her, suddenly shivered, uncomfortably saying, "Ugh," a few times. Everyone around shouted, "What's going on?" The mother went to check the situation. "What's going on, Dr. Deng? Say something." Deng Aijun was trembling and shirking responsibility. I don't know either. I'm just a surgeon, not an internist." Could it be more than just a high fever? Chen Hang Yue couldn't wait any longer, forcefully pushing Deng Aijun away and yelling, "Get out!" He cried out in pain. "Ouch!" Chen Hang Yue prepared to administer acupuncture to the little girl. Deng Aijun watched the scene, grinding his teeth in anger, his hands clenched. "Very well, Chen Hang Yue, let's see how you treat her," he thought bitterly. "Perfect. I'm short of a scapegoat. If you kill her, I'll just go with the flow." Chen Hang Yue calmly picked up the acupuncture needle and said to the mother, "Have her lie still, hold her tight, don't let her move." The parents replied, "Okay," and hurriedly followed his instructions. Chen Hang Yue was about to display his superb skills. After a while, he noticed the situation was not good. The cold air in the body was suppressed by the ice pack, making it even more difficult to eliminate now. "No other way?" the mother asked. You're really a doctor." At this time, he didn't care about anything around him, focusing only on the child. Facing such a dire situation, he held the acupuncture needle and made a decisive decision. "Gamble. Let's gamble just once." Deng Aijun, watching the scene, felt unconvinced. Isn't he just putting on a flashy show, acting like he knows so much about medicine? In any case, you're only good for taking the blame for me, haha. Suddenly, the little girl opened her eyes, coughing a few times. "Water, thirsty." Seeing the child awake again, the mother exclaimed, my dear, you're awake? You're awake? The child is awake." She hugged her precious child, overjoyed. "You scared mommy to death." The father happily ran over from afar with a glass of water. "Here's the water." Chen Hang Yue breathed a sigh of relief and said, "The child's condition is temporarily stable. Now we just need to wait for the ambulance to arrive." Everyone around was extremely surprised. The father knelt down on both knees. "Doctor, thank you. Thank you so much. If it weren't for you, my daughter would've. I was wrong just now. Hit me if it makes you feel better." Chen Hang Yue, seeing such a scene, couldn't help but panic. "I'm not a bandit. Why would I hit you?" Suddenly, a hand holding a towel appeared before him. Bai Xue smiled brightly. "You've worked hard." His face flushed, and he stuttered. No, not at all." Seeing everything, Deng Aijun was extremely angry, grinding his teeth again, his eyes narrowed. Even a blind cat can catch a mouse. "If it weren't for my ice pack, what could he have done? That was just a temporary, abnormal reaction just now." The man next to him added, "That's right," and saying something about acute infectious virus. Clearly, it's all lies. The medical staff had arrived, and hurriedly ran in. "Please make way. Please make way. The ambulance is here." The man examined the little girl. The mother then asked, "Doctor, what exactly is wrong with my child?" The man frowned, looking serious. "She has an acute, infectious virus. Everyone present today must go to the hospital for examination." At this time, surprised voices rang out. "What? Really, a virus?" At the Third People's Hospital of Sucheng, the nurse said, "Please line up for testing in order, leave your personal information, and then you can go home. When the test results are available, we will call you to inform you." Bai Xue finally had time to ask Chen Hang Yue a few questions. "Chen Hang Yue, is that General Wang your friend?" He replied, "I only met him tonight." Bai Xue looked surprised. "What's wrong? Why was he so respectful to you?" Chen Hang Yue scratched his head. "I'm not sure how to explain it. It's a long story. Someone help me out a bit." He remembered his friend, who had said over the phone, "Haha, old Wang from Ham Yu restaurant. Of course I know him. Last year, I lent him 3 million in working capital. Otherwise, his restaurant would have been finished. Let me tell him one thing, and I guarantee you'll be as impressive as you want to be tonight. Everyone, line up for testing." Deng Anjun watched their public display of affection, scoffing. Tonight's charade is definitely his own doing. He bribed director Wang beforehand, then hired a bunch of actors to make himself look good. The fat man next to him chimed in. "Exactly. He's just a useless live-in son-in-law. How could he possibly understand medicine? He probably thinks curing illnesses is as easy as doing chores." Deng Anjun spat on the ground. The nurse saw this and yelled, "Sir, this is a hospital. No spitting allowed. Do you have any decency?" After being scolded, he could only bow his head repeatedly to apologize. A man in a white coat came out and said, "Dr. Hao." Bai Xue ran up to him, asking, "Dr. Hao, why are you here?" "Bai Xue, are you also here for testing?" A look of panic crossed his face. She replied, "Yes, Chen Hang Yue and I went to Hamgulu for dinner." Luckily, Chen Hang Yue saved that sick child. Chen Hang Yue also raised his hand in greeting. "Dr. Hao." The doctor looked strained. Bai Xue, you don't have to lie to protect him. I've seen very clearly what kind of person he is these past few years.
You've been studying with me for so many years. Don't disgrace the medical profession. It would have been so much better if you and Anjun were together. His father and I are friends, and you know how deeply he was in love with you back then.
Seeing the doctor, Anjun eagerly ran over and said, Uncle Hao, my love for her hasn't changed. The doctor was once again surprised. Anjun, what happened to your face? He scratched his head, embarrassed. I had a little plastic surgery. Chen Hang Yue glanced over. Unchanged love. I'd really like to ask, if Director Deng is so devoted to Bai Xue, then why does he have an STD? Everyone around was shocked to hear this. An STD. This guy has an STD. Deng Anjun's face twisted, his teeth clenched. How do you know? Bullshit. How dare you smear my young master's reputation? Bai Xue exclaimed in surprise. What? Dr. Hao was furious. Good for you, Chen Hang Yue. It's one thing to be incompetent, but I didn't expect your character to be this bad, Bai Xue. You still want to protect a man like this? Suddenly, a man stepped forward, his eyebrows raised, and he asked, Who treated the young patient just now? This is Su Cheng's surgery expert, Yang Santao. Deng Anjun panicked, quickly shirking all responsibility. It has nothing to do with me. He's the one who treated that girl, and he even used acupuncture. If something happens, you can settle it with him. A series of thoughts rushed through his mind. Shit. He even alarmed Yang Santao. Is that girl done for?
Chen Hang Yue remained calm and stepped forward, quietly saying, It was me.
I'll take responsibility if there's any problem with the patient. Yang Santao was furious and shouted, Nonsense. You didn't even do any chemical tests. And you just recklessly used acupuncture. Who do you think you are? A reincarnated miracle doctor? Deng Anjun added fuel to the fire. Director, could something have really happened to that girl? It's all my fault for standing right there and not stopping him in time.
Chen Hang Yue glanced over with a look of disdain. Anjun was overjoyed. Chen Hang Yue, just wait to pay with your life.
He then slowly explained. At the time, I saw that the girl's whole body was ice cold. Her limbs were convulsing, her breathing was weak, her face was pale. There were black shadows in her eyes, and she was foaming at the mouth a lot. From the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine, this is a classic case of cold Q invasion, and the way to treat it is also using TCM methods. Using 3 needles to expel the cold, igniting heat to prevent the cold from invading her heart and lungs. So, I'm sure I haven't made any mistakes in the acupuncture. Deng Yingjun pointed at him and shouted, I've never seen anyone so shameless and thick-skinned. Western medicine is the true science. Your TCM has long been proven to be feudal superstitions, and you're using it to treat this child, tricking everyone into lining up at the hospital, wasting so much time. Yang Sandao asked sternly. Who said TCM is feudal superstition? Deng Yingjun stammered in fear. Well, those TCM health commercials on TV, aren't they all? Yang Sandao stated firmly. That's baseless deception. The thousands of years of TCM history in Huaxia. How did it become 3 parts lies and 7 parts deception in your mouth? Bai Yao impatiently questioned. Yingjun, if you want to argue with Chen Hang Yue, don't use our health as a joke.
Hang Yue is just trying to do what's best for everyone, another person said. The emergency doctor already said it's an infectious disease. How could Hang Yue be deceiving us? Seeing that no one was on his side, Deng Yingjun was annoyed, he thought. These two-faced bastards, everyone was sucking up to me just now, and now they're acting like they don't know.
But that girl's condition is definitely not good. Chen Hang Yue won't be able to escape. So foolish. Even at this moment, he still insists he's right. Yang Sandao shook his hand, praising. To have such courage and knowledge at such a young age, truly excellent. Luckily, you took action in time, otherwise the patient definitely wouldn't have improved so quickly. Deng Yingjun was so shocked that his jaw dropped. What, improved? Not worse. Hearing this, Yang Sandao immediately retorted sarcastically. Could it be that Director Deng is hoping the patient's condition worsens? Of course he immediately denied it. How could you say that? As a doctor, I naturally hope everyone is healthy. It's just that your expression was so serious. I thought, Yang Sandao interrupted. I just have facial paralysis. On the contrary, it's you, Xiao Deng. I must remind you of something. You should pay attention to your personal life. Don't overindulge in pleasure. The mark on your face can't be covered up, even with 1.5 layers of foundation. When he said these words, everyone around was so shocked that their jaws almost dropped to the ground. He stammered awkwardly. The people around started gossiping. Does he really have a disease? Damn it, it's actually true. Someone even said, stay away from him, don't get infected. Because he couldn't bear the whispers, he ran away in a hurry, amidst everyone's laughter. I have something to do, I'll go first. Yang Sandao called after him. You who refuses to admit defeat, don't forget to get yourself tested for viruses. Yang Sandao held out his hand, extending an invitation. Your name is Chen Hang Yue, isn't it? The TV station reporter is waiting to interview this god. It's you. He immediately refused. No need. I just helped out. As a doctor, saving people is no big deal? He thought, damn it, I can't let people know I'm in Sioux City. Despite his refusal, the man kept trying to persuade him. This is a rare opportunity. Are you sure you want to pass it up? So many doctors are scrambling for a chance to be on TV, and they don't even get one, he replied. Yeah, I don't care, a nurse called out. Director Yang, the head of the hospital is looking for you. The man turned to leave. Good job, young man. I like you a lot. Your future achievements will definitely surpass mine, he replied. Thank you. I surpassed you 3 years ago. Of course, he only said the latter part in his heart. After finishing up, he spoke to Bai Xue while holding his phone. Honey, you wait in line here, I'm gonna make a phone call. Bai Xue replied. Okay. An old doctor with gray hair said, if he's interested in learning traditional Chinese medicine, he can come to Baoantong. Even starting as an apprentice is better than just sitting around at home doing nothing, she confidently replied. No need. I believe his abilities are definitely much higher than what everyone sees, she thought. Just how many secrets are hidden within him? On the other side, Lao Zhang drove while answering the phone. Hello, Hang Yue. Why are you calling me today? Chen Hang Yue replied on the other end of the line. Please help me pass a message to Manager Xiang. A moment later, Xiang Haichao exclaimed in surprise. What? A disease? Xiang Mingli said breathlessly. That's right. Divine Dr. Chen said that although only one patient has been discovered so far, it has definitely started to spread. If doctors throughout the city aren't quickly mobilized to treat it, there will be a major outbreak within a week. Inside the house, someone yelled, Why are you so late with dinner? Are you trying to starve me to death? It turned out to be Bai Xue's mother. Bai Xue said angrily, I'm gonna cook right now. Didn't I tell you we were going to class tonight? Can't you cook for yourself? The mother was just as annoyed. She scolded. You can go to your class, but what's that good for nothing doing there? Isn't it enough that he leeches off this house? Does he want to leech off other people too? Bai Xue snapped. Don't you dare call him that. Didn't Hang Yue just get a supercar? Since he was too used to this, he calmly stood in the kitchen holding the bag of groceries, thinking. Judging from Yang Sandu's reaction, it seems he hasn't realized the seriousness of this matter, but hopefully Xiang Haichao will be a little smarter. The arguing continued to echo. Bai Xue's mother said. You think you can win me over with just a beat-up car? If you're so capable, get me a villa. The next day, at a meeting of hospital directors in Sioux City, Xiang Haichao sat at the head of the table. The reason I've invited everyone here today is to announce something extremely important. According to our all-night analysis, the source of the disease brought by Han Yu Lu is the Noah virus. All 9 people who came into contact with the patient have been infected. Everyone looks serious, listening attentively. This family just returned from a trip to Hangzhou. I already contacted Hangzhou this morning. They are conducting an investigation. It can be concluded that the situation in Hangzhou is not optimistic. Everyone must concentrate and take strict precautions to resolutely prevent the epidemic from spreading throughout Sioux City. I have specially invited Lao Li to come here as a consultant to see if we can combine Eastern and Western medicine to find the fastest treatment method. To add a little more information, Lao Li's real name is Li Ji, and he is the most veteran acupuncture master in Sioux City. Everyone was delighted to hear this news, someone said. With Lao Li here, we can rest assured, a polite person said. Sorry for the trouble, Lao Li. Xiang Haichao supported Li Ji. Lin Ji asked, I must say, your reflexes are quick, and your judgment is very accurate. Even the chief physician didn't detect this epidemic. How did you figure it out? Xiang Haichao smiled and replied, Considerate guidance from an expert, Li Ji deduced. This expert is the one who performed acupuncture on patient 0, isn't he? Xiang Haichao was extremely surprised. You even guessed that, correct. It's him. His name is Chen Hang Yue, and he's just a young man in his early 20s. Li Ji was equally astonished. Early 20s. I find his acupuncture skills no less than those of a traditional Chinese medicine doctor with decades of experience. Could you help me arrange a meeting with him? Of course, Xiang Haichao wouldn't pass up this rare opportunity. This is one of the few times Lin Ji has asked someone for a favor. Xiang Haichao made a condition. Of course I can. But Elder Li must agree to one condition. You must attend the charity auction for medical professionals 3 days from now. You've always avoided it in the past. Many people have really forgotten about you. Li Ji laughed happily and replied, Haha. Chairman Xiang knows how to seize opportunities. You're even setting conditions for me. All right. For the sake of that talented young man, I'll participate. Xiang Haichao hurriedly thanked Elder Li for praising Chen Hang Yue. Answering someone's phone. Hello, what is it now? The other end of the line was a little annoyed. Hey, why do you always use this tone to talk to the benefactor who helped you save face? He was even more annoyed. Spit it out, I'm cleaning the house, and still have to pick up my wife. The other person chuckled. Trisk, you really can't hide anything from you. You have a good eye. Help me find some 1,000-year-old He Shao Wu and Heya Ginseng. He began to lose patience. Do you think I'm Taishang Laochun? Where am I supposed to find such precious herbs for you? The person on the other end of the line offered a plan. 3 days from now, the medical community in Sioux City will hold a charity auction. I heard that Li Ji has collected a lot of precious herbs and is preparing to donate them. Some of those herbs include 1,000-year-old He Shao Wu. He refused. Give up hope, I'm not qualified to attend such formal occasions now. The other person pleaded. Please don't. If I can't find them, my dad will send me to see King Yama. Only do what I can. His phone rang. He opened it to see a message. The other person continued to beg. Please, figure out how to sneak in. For example, pretend to be a shipper. I'll send you a shipper uniform right now. Deng Yingjun drove while calling her. Bai Xue. Are you free tonight? Tonight's charity gala starts at 7:00 p.m. I'm coming to the hospital to pick you up now. Bai Xue replied from the other end of the line. Will you stop? I already said I'm not going. Don't bother me. You're so thick-skinned, he made an excuse. It's gonna rain. Even if you don't want to attend the gala, I still have to take you home. She refused. Hang Yue is picking me up. It's not your turn. And hung up. Deng Yingjun smiled sinisterly. Ha. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it tonight. Daring to insult this young master 2 or 3 times, I have to give him a taste of bitterness. On the other side, Chen Hang Yue was riding his motorcycle to pick her up. He looked around and assessed. It's gonna rain soon. I don't know if Bai Xue wants to go with me or not. Suddenly, a green-haired guy rushed out in front of his motorcycle. Ouch! You hit me? Don't even think about running. It turned out to be a scammer.
Soon after, two other guys on the green-haired guy's side also appeared behind him. He asked, "We're still a meter apart. How could I have hit you?" An extremely large and burly guy butted in. "You dare deny it in front of my brothers." The blonde guy ordered, "Get off the bike. Let's talk." He glanced at them with cold eyes. "Oh, looks like I've run into some scammers." The three of them immediately formed a group. The two held baseball bats, while the green-haired guy, skinny and clutching his stomach in pain, wailed, "Kid, how are you going to settle this?" "You messed up my stomach." The big, burly guy chimed in. "Damn it, my brother was already thin. How's he supposed to get bigger with a busted stomach?" "Pay up, cough up 100,000, he said calmly. "Your helmet is good enough, and stop acting." Chen Hang Yue pointed out the absurdity. "You said your stomach is busted, but why are you covering your intestines?" Catching them off guard, he pointed at them like a hero. "I'm in a hurry, so come at me all at once." The blonde guy, hearing this, charged forward with his baseball bat. "You're still acting tough, damn it. I'll cripple you today." He easily dodged the blow and smashed his helmet into the guy's face, a painful blow that left him bleeding profusely. The remaining two, unafraid of death, rushed forward. The green-haired guy yelled, "Damn it, you dare hit our Lao heir, second brother." The big, burly guy followed suit. "You're asking for death." The two of them received the same treatment as the first guy. He closed his middle and index fingers. "Lao Han, I'm borrowing your move." Then he poked a pressure point on his pectoral muscle. That alone caused him to vomit a large amount of blood, looking incredibly pathetic. The big, burly guy finally got up. He still didn't know his brothers had been beaten to a pulp, and dared to smash down with his helmet. "Lao San, third brother, kill him," Chen Hang Yue replied. "Your Lao San isn't doing so well either." Only then did he realize his two brothers were lying face down on the ground. The guy trembled with fear, utterly cowardly. You tricked me. Or are you just useless trash?" he coldly questioned. "You guys aren't just highway robbers, you were deliberately waiting for me here. Speak, who sent you?" He was so scared that he turned to run, but still managed to say, "Just wait until I get more people." Of course, he wouldn't let the guy escape so easily. He flicked a needle towards the guy's leg, causing him to fall face down onto the ground, looking utterly miserable. He slowly walked over, grabbed the guy's head, and pulled it up. "Speak quickly, don't waste my time." Even at this point, he was still putting on a tough act. "Kid, consider us unlucky today. But I'm warning you, you can't afford to offend the people behind this. If you want to live, quickly get a divorce and get out of Suchang," he replied. "Seems like my guess was right. Deng Jun-an, you really won't shed a tear until you see the coffin." It was raining heavily. Outside the hospital, Bai Xue worried. Why hasn't Hang Yue arrived yet? From afar, someone called her, Bai Xue. It turned out to be that jerk, Deng Jun-an, running towards her with an umbrella. Just made it in time. "Let's go. I'll take you to the charity auction." She angrily refused. "Deng Jun-an, how many times have I told you, don't keep bothering me? I have no interest in that charity auction." Bai Yao appeared from nowhere, holding a ticket. "Jose, who is this? You talk so smoothly. Who was it that begged the deputy director for an invitation 3 days ago?" "Too bad. No matter how powerful the deputy director is, he still has to listen to Grandma." "Bai Xue, if you beg me, maybe I'll happily reward you with the only invitation in the entire hospital. Who knows?" He sneered. In the end, Grandma, I know you're just trying to act like you're okay, but this ceremony only happens once every 2 years, and those invited are all deans of major hospitals in Sioux City, as well as renowned doctors. It's the upper echelons of the medical world. Who wouldn't want to come?" She was talked about, until she was blushing with embarrassment. "You suddenly appeared from behind, Bai Yao. Stay away from my wife." Making him panic. "Damn, you almost scared me to death." At this moment, tears were streaming down her face, and she said tearfully, "Hang Yue, you're finally here." You held her in your arms and explained. "On the way here I had to deal with some small fries, so I was late. I'm sorry." She replied, "Take me home. I hate them so much," you said. "But we can't go home yet. We still need my wife to accompany me on a trip to the charity auction." Deng Yingjun seemed very hateful. "Where are those 3 stupid pigs dead? Why did you let that bastard off so easily?" I had carefully planned to make Chen Hang Yue disappear, then take the opportunity to snatch Bai Xue. You seem to have read the thoughts in his head. You said, "Vous verrez. Remember to hire more people next time. 3 isn't enough for me to even pick my teeth with." He was surprised. "Could it be that you already? How is this possible?" Bai Yao poked his head out of the car window and said, "Chen Hang Yue, are you not afraid of dropping dead from lying so much? Still going to a charity auction? Go home now and cook for your wife." You thought contemptuously. "Looks like they're really afraid of me, running away so fast." Deng Yingjun thought, "Stay calm. Even if I beat him to death, he wouldn't be qualified to attend the charity auction. But Bai Xue desperately wants to go. Lady Luck is still on my side." He spread out 2 tickets and showed off. Bai Yao, he's so right. This guy's used to lying, spouting hot air without fear of being struck by lightning. "Do you dare show me your invitation card?" You said calmly, "I don't need an invitation card because I don't need this thing." He laughed loudly. "Ha! You stupid fool, you can still brag like that without an invitation. Are you planning to pretend to be a shikin and sneak in? You're killing me." Lao Zhang, dressed in a very serious suit, called out, "Divine Dr. Chen, Director Xiang sent me to pick you up. Please get in the car." Deng Yingjun was shocked, with his mouth agape. "Director Xiang, Shanghai Chao, the organizer of today's charity auction." You gently open the door for her, Madam Chen, please." She was shy. Annoying, Lao Zhang didn't forget to mock. "But why hasn't that brother's chin been picked up yet?" Your car had driven far away, but he was still standing there staring blankly, his mouth still open. You said, "Let's go to the hospital, forget about him," Lao Zhang replied. "Okay."
He cursed incessantly. Chen Hang Yue, you humiliate me again and again, slap my face, trample on my head. I, Deng Yingjun, of the solemn and glorious Deng family in Sioux City, swear that I will definitely chop you into 100 pieces. At the charity auction of the Sioux City Medical Association, the place was extremely crowded. Bai Yao said, Grandma, last year we were still sitting at table number 14. This year, we've moved up to table number 12. Showing that the influence of our Bai hospital is about to be on par with the major hospitals in Sioux City. Grandma Bai replied, Don't be arrogant, we still need to work harder. Seeing the figures of Chen Hang Yue and the other two enter, Bai Yao was so surprised that she sprayed water everywhere. Grandma Bai asked, Bai Xue, why are those two? He replied, They must have used money to buy expensive invitation cards. Just wait, at most, they can only sit at table number 20-something, with no sense of existence. But he was disappointed. You were actually sitting at table number 2. The Bai grandmother and granddaughter were extremely surprised, thinking, Table number 2, what the hell, you asked Brother Cheng. Aren't you sitting? Lao Zhang replied. My seat is over there, she excitedly exclaimed. Oh my God, they're all famous doctors. I never even dreamed I could be this close to them. He cheerfully replied. Relax. You'll be exposed to even more talented people in the future. She asked. Really? A beautiful blonde girl sitting at table 1 witnessed this scene of the young couple and thought, Oh, how surprising. She looked so ordinary, yet she's seated at table 1. Something to look forward to. Bai Xue excitedly looked at him and said, How did you do that? You didn't even need an invitation, and you just walked right in and got a seat in the center. Chen Hang Yue awkwardly replied, Well that. Suddenly, a flamboyant red-haired young man came out, tapped him on the shoulder, and exclaimed excitedly, Aren't you the famous Dr. Chen Yi? I heard you even cured Chairman Xiang's illness and discovered an infectious disease, warning everyone. Everyone around them was surprised to hear this and said in unison, Chen Song. Another young man said, So you're the divine doctor that Chairman Xiang has been praising non-stop. To be so accomplished at such a young age? You truly are a talent. I didn't expect Sioux City to have such a character. I've never heard of him before. Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue pushed Lu Yuan away and said, Just luck, nothing worth mentioning. Afterwards, he and the other guy went to a corner. His face darkened as he asked, Brat, what are you doing here? The guy replied with a punchable face. Aren't you happy to see your dad? Chen Hang Yue retorted. Don't cause trouble. I can't attract too much attention yet. The other guy replied, All right, I know. Enough nagging. I just wanted to give you 2 items. He then pulled out a black card and something gold and said, There's 10 million in the card. I'll send you more when you run out. And the heirloom golden hairpin that you asked me to keep safe years ago. Chen Hang Yue's face darkened as he stammered. The golden hairpin. The other guy replied, If you're no longer hiding your strength, it's only a matter of time before those bastards find you. Only this hairpin can help you fully unleash your acupuncture skills, right? Suddenly, he lunged forward, pursing his lips and said, Touched to the point of tears welling up in your heart, aren't you? Give daddy a passionate kiss. Chen Hang Yue was embarrassed and dodged, causing the other guy to fall headfirst to the ground. Seeing this, Bai Xue asked, Is he here to cause trouble for you? Hang Yue calmly replied, Just a damn pervert. Don't pay attention to him. Suddenly, a loud announcement was heard. Old Lai has arrived. Old Lai entered with Shanghai Chao. The crowd cheered and applauded lively as they saw the two of them. Chen Hang Yue and Bai Xue were also happy to see them and said, This old gentleman is really welcome. Bai Xue replied, He's our Sioux City's treasure, the founder of Bao Antang, one of the 4 great national masters of traditional Chinese medicine, the saintly hands. Lin Ji, who has been in seclusion for many years. Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue thought to himself, Li Ji, I heard my dad mention him before, saying he was a doctor who brought blessings to the people, so he's been living in seclusion in Sioux City all this time. But why did he teach such a disciple? Bai Xue saw the two of them walking towards them and said, He's coming towards us. Arriving at their table, Shanghai Chao said, Old Lai, this is the young man Chen who cured the strange illness I told you about before. Hearing this, Linji praised, Excellent. This young man is even younger than I imagined, truly young and talented. Receiving the praise, Chen Hang Yue happily replied, You flatter me, Elder Lai. I, Chen Hang Yue, just got lucky. Suddenly, a loud voice said, It was just luck. He's just a useless guy who specializes in impersonating others to deceive people. A blonde girl in a charming dress came out and continued, Chen Hang Yue's grandfather was a bum who didn't have a job. He's been living off the Bai family for 3 years and hasn't even looked for work. He just eats his wife's food at home. If he really understood medicine, he would have been famous everywhere long ago. I've been observing him for half a day. Just now, he even hired a background actor to exaggerate his reputation. Haha, what a shameless face. Chen Hang Yue choked, thinking of that Lu Yuan from before and muttering to himself, An extra. Bai Xue, hearing Li Xin insult Hang Yue like that, flared up and retorted, How can you spout such slander? Apologize to Hang Yue right now. Li Ji also fumed. Xin Xie, outrageous. Li Xin remained unfazed and calmly replied, What a pity for the #1 beauty of Sioux City, that she still has to cover for this good-for-nothing, how pathetic. That Lu Yuan suddenly chimed in, Miss Lai, as the old saying goes, seeing is believing. Later at the auction, there will be an appraisal of those rare and hard-to-find items. How about you two have a little contest? Chen Hang Yue thought to himself. She wants me and her to find rare herbs for him. Li Xin replied, I have no interest in competing with him. As soon as she finished speaking, Chen Hang Yue provoked. It seems, Bao Antang is nothing more than this. Hearing that, Li Xin frowned and said,
What did you say? If you're so eager to walk into your own grave, then I'll let you know what Baoantang's true strength is.
At that time I'll make you kneel down and apologize to me. Chen Hang Yue wasn't to be outdone, he retorted. Then if you lose, I want you to apologize to my wife in the same way you just said.
Shanghai Chao, seeing this, could only stammer. This. Old man Li Ji next to him found it amusing and laughed heartily, saying, since it's come to this, then let them compete.
Although this granddaughter of mine is a bit stubborn, she's still considered to have some skill. She probably won't lose too badly.
Li Xin pouted and replied, Grandpa, there's no way I'm gonna lose. Chen Hang Yue suddenly activated his Devil King mode to protect his wife, he declared. You can look down on me, but daring to insult Bai Xue, I absolutely will not allow it. Scene changes to the host, who is saying, thank you, distinguished guests, for attending today's charity auction. For this activity, we are very fortunate to have invited a few individuals to bring out their own treasures that they have collected over the years as auction items, but we don't know much about the specific value. This is also the fun of this auction. Everyone makes bids together, but it is very likely that a high price will only buy an ordinary product, and it is also very likely that a low price will buy some kind of treasure, and the auction will donate all the auction money to the Sioux City Medical Association's budget for research into rare diseases and treatments. Now we will start with the first auction item, Wild Ginseng Emperor. After hearing what the host said, a girl came out from the wings, holding a ginseng box. The host continued, please invite the appraisers to the stage to inspect. They will use their observation skills, knowledge, and experience to give their opinions so that you can have additional references on whether to bid to buy this product or not. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Xin and Chen Hang Yue were already standing there looking at the 3 ginsengs. The group below from Madame Bai saw this and laughed, chatting, ha ha ha, is that idiot Chen Hang Yue pretending to be addicted? He's shamelessly gone up to the treasure appraisal stage. Just wait for him to embarrass himself. I know Miss Li Xin of Baoantang, but who is that nobody next to her? Never seen him before, maybe he's just a guest here to watch the fun. Back on stage, Li Xin makes her choice, pointing to the ginseng and saying, I choose this one, superior grade. The host, hearing this, says, oh, it's no wonder that Miss Xin is a medical genius. She only needed a minute to see that this is a wild ginseng of superior grade. And our contestant, Chen, is still hesitating. It seems he is researching the #1 ginseng. The crowd below burst into laughter. That Lu Yuan mumbled, we would like to kindly remind this contestant, ginseng is not a carrot. Judging whether it is good or not is not just based on its size. Then Chen Hang Yue points to the #1 ginseng and says, I choose this one, it's wild ginseng of supreme grade. The host, hearing this, exclaims, supreme grade, contestant Chen said. He discovered wild ginseng of supreme grade. Shanghai Chao, after listening, was also surprised and said, if it were real, its owner would never take it out for auction. Li Xin beside her chuckled softly and said, assessing ginseng requires examining the 5 elements, Lu, Qing, Wen, Ti, and Xiu, and knowing the 6 features, Ling, Lao, Nen, Heng, and Shun. You're sure to lose, you idiot. The crowd, hearing Li Xin's explanation, lamented. Worthy of being the #1 talented woman of Sioux City, her discernment of medicinal herbs is indeed accurate. Someone said, these 4 ginsengs were all donated by me. #3 is indeed a top-grade product, but the other 3, haha, are barely good enough for making tea. Shu clapped his hands in response. Admirable. Admirable! Bai Yao laughed wildly, filming with his phone, and said, you good for nothing, quickly kneel at Miss Lang's feet. Don't embarrass yourself on stage any further, apologize, and get down here. We won't laugh at you, unless we can't help it. The person next to him was still laughing uncontrollably. While on Li Ji's side, seeing Hang Yu's choice, he said, Chairman Xiang, is this the divine doctor you spoke of? Shanghai Chao, hearing this, broke out in a cold sweat, stammering, perhaps he's not good at assessing medicinal herbs. Switching to Li Xin, she confidently said, admit defeat, apologize to me so I can let you leave with some dignity. From below, Shanghai Chao shouted, little Chen, don't try to resist any longer, come down here quickly. Chen Hang Yue, undeterred, confidently took out a utility knife and said, don't rush, the best part is yet to come. As soon as he finished speaking, he made a cut, severing the root system of the ginseng, and the ginseng split open. Li Xin saw it and exclaimed in surprise, this is. The crowd, seeing the ginseng's appearance, was also stunned, and said in unison, Bao Xian, Zhong Shen. Then, Chen Hang Yue continued to cut away the outer layer. After cutting, he turned the utility knife and confidently said, this ginseng from the barren mountains has another wild ginseng growing under its roots, completely enveloping the original ginseng, shaped like a turnip. That's why many ginseng harvesters spare it, allowing it to grow for a long time. I guess. Li Ji, hearing him, darkened his face and said, such a diverse shape is indeed a treasure, at least 500 years old. The host, hearing this, exclaimed with his mouth agape, 500 years. Then, Lu Yuan shouted, I'll take it for 5 million yuan. The crowd, hearing this, began to bid one after another. Me, I bid 5 million yuan, 2 million yuan, I bid 6 million yuan. The host, seeing such chaos, was at a loss and wondered, the auction has already started. The crowd continued to bid, 8 million yuan, 7 million yuan, 5 million yuan. Exactly 5 million yuan. Chen Hang Yue looked towards Li Xin and asked, Ms. Li, do you have anything to say now? Li Xin accepted defeat and replied, so be it, I'll own up to it, I apologize to you. Suddenly, Chen Hang Yue held out his hand and said, wait. Li Xin thought to herself, could it be that he's forgiving? Such magnanimity, truly.
Then Chen Hang Yue pointed towards Bai Xue, who was sitting below, and said, "The person you should apologize to is my wife, not me." Li Xin's face darkened upon hearing this, and she thought, Heh, Chen Hang Yue, just you wait, I'm not done with her yet. Switching to a certain table, where an old man and a young girl were, they muttered to each other, "Not bad skills, even the beard can be peeled off perfectly." The old man ate and gnawed on chicken and replied, "Humph. So many people, finally someone with discerning eyes." Suddenly the old man decided, "My 2 Fuki health food stores are short of an apprentice, let's recruit this kid." Li Xin went down to Bai Xue and said, "Sorry, your husband isn't trash, nor is he a good-for-nothing, I'm truly sorry to you." Everyone around was shocked and said, "I didn't see wrong, did I?" The eldest daughter of Bao Antong, the proud genius doctor, is actually bowing her head to apologize. "This is changing my worldview." Bai Xue, suddenly being apologized to, was confused and said to Hang Yue, "She was criticizing you earlier, why is she suddenly apologizing to me now?" "That's right," Chen Hang Yue calmly said, "I told you, I won't let you suffer any injustice again." Li Xin, seeing this situation, thought to herself, "Why couldn't I have met such a talented and responsible man sooner?" HMPH. Suddenly, Li Ji slowly walked out, saying, "I never expected this old man to misjudge Chen Xiaoyu. What excellent eyesight and skill." Xiang Haichao followed him, pointing the way and saying, "Haha, of course the person I recommend must be talented." Then, Lin Ji extended his hand and said, "Would you like to come to my Bao An dispensary to develop your career?" The surrounding people, seeing this, widened their eyes in disbelief, continuing to murmur, Are you kidding me? Li Lao himself is inviting him to join Bao An dispensary. I offered 300,000 half a year ago and still got rejected. This guy is so lucky. Without 30 years of medical experience, you wouldn't even be able to step through the door of Bao An dispensary. How old is this kid? Could it be that Li Lao wants to take him as a disciple? Li Xin, upon hearing this, turned purple with anger and said, "Grandfather, accepting disciples randomly like this will ruin our rules. The other masters will surely have objections." Lin Ji didn't care. He chuckled lightly in response. "Haha, you don't have the skill to take Chen Xiaoyu as a disciple." Then he looked towards Chen Hang Yue and continued, "I'm inviting you to come to Bao An dispensary as the chief physician." As soon as the words left his mouth, that Bai Yao shouted loudly, "Chief physician! This good for nothing. Is Li Lao senile? The chief physician should be the most skilled doctor in Bao An dispensary. His position would only be second to Li Lao. Even those old masters don't have that. Why choose this guy?" Turning towards Chen Hang Yue, Li Ji continued to recruit. "So, do you want to join our Bao An dispensary?" However, Chen Hang Yue bluntly stated, "No, I don't want to. Thank you for your kindness, Li Lao." Lin Ji was stunned upon hearing this. "No, you don't want to." Li Xin, standing beside him, also exclaimed in shock, Are you deliberately insulting our Bao An dispensary? Let's see what your future holds." Xiang Haichao, seeing this, quickly calmed the Li grandfather and granddaughter, saying, all right, we should continue with the auction." Then he thought to himself, "If he keeps talking, the entire Bao An dispensary will be offended." Suddenly, someone placed something on the table and loudly announced, "Let's see who has the discerning eye to put a price on this treasure." The grandfather and granddaughter, dressed shabbily, walked out, the old man saying, "What kind of dog shit auction is this? Refusing free donations, and even bothering this old man to bring it here personally." Li Ji, seeing the old man's behavior, asked, "Who is this?" Xiang Haichao replied, "I don't recognize him either. How did he get in here?" Then the surrounding people gleefully responded, "I know him. He runs a medical supplies store in the city village, specializing in selling male enhancement drugs. Could that lump of dirt of his be an aphrodisiac? Haha." Hearing this, Xiang Haichao loudly exclaimed, "Who brought him in here? Call the security guards over here." The staff immediately reported, Security, come to the hall immediately." Immediately, the security guards rushed in and carried the old man away, the old man loudly shouting, "This bunch of dirt paper, blind eyes that can't recognize treasure. Regret it later if you miss it today, my poor baby." The girl next to him, seeing her grandfather like this, rushed over and said, "Get out of the way. Don't touch my grandfather." Suddenly a voice said, "Wait." Then Chen Hang Yue stood next to the table. He confidently looked at what the old man had put on the table and said, "Please bring a basin of clean water here." Having obtained the water, Chen Hang Yue put that thing into the basin of water. The curious crowd approached. Seeing this, Chen Hang Yue asked, "What are you all doing getting so close?" That Kuluk Vian smiled strangely and said, "Don't waste words. You've had a godlike battle. The buyers are waiting for you to choose. I just got that 10 million ginseng. Adding a few points to choose some treasures isn't a waste for this great man to make a trip." Chen Hang Yue, hearing this, replied, "Understood." Liang Ji, standing behind, asked curiously, "Well, what have you seen?" Li Xin stood there with a sullen face, thinking to herself, "I don't believe he can touch that treasure again." After washing it, he wiped his hands and said, "It's quite interesting. Please, elderly, examine it." Hearing this, Lin Ji approached. He looked at the basin, then seemed to realize something, and touched the water, saying, "All right, let me see." Li Xin stood behind, annoyed, and continued thinking, "This guy even wants to get his grandpa's hands dirty. What a hypocrite." Then Lin Ji picked up something, his face flustered as he said, "This is a 1,000-year-old He Shou Wu." Suddenly, the old man dropped it into the crowd, and everyone around rushed forward, thinking, don't let it fall. But they were a step too late. Chen Hang Yue managed to catch it in time. Then he turned around and said, "Don't panic, I'm here, it won't break." He caught it, causing them to fall to the ground. Li Xin helped Li Ji up, saying, "Grandpa,
Are you alright? Li Ji was still flustered, stammering. The 1,000-year-old He Shou Wu. Is it alright?
This must be a 1,000-year-old He Shou Wu. I've been practicing medicine for 70 years. This is the first time I've seen such a large He Shou Wu.
There, Chen Hang Yue looked at the He Shou Wu in his hand, his face amused as he muttered, "Chisk, chisk." So big and still carrying soil no one would believe it's a treasure. Suddenly, the surrounding crowd shouted, "Old man, you're like family to me. Sell me this treasure. I'll pay 20,000. Sell it to me. I'll pay 2 million. The old man chuckled with amusement, replying, "Hee hee. If you had let me donate it before the auction, I wouldn't have cared who bid the highest.
But today I personally brought it here. So it won't be easy for you, unless you agree to one condition from this old man." "I, Kua Lu Yuan, will agree," he responded. "Just say it, I'll kill and set fires for you."
Then the old man pointed at Chen Hang Yue and continued, "That is, this little brat must come to my shop to learn the trade." Chen Hang Yue was stunned to hear that. Kua Lu Yuan was shocked and exclaimed, "Are you kidding me?
The top doctors of Baoantong can't just leave. How could I sell Daliwan to you?" the old man asked. "Young man, do you agree? We have a bit of a connection. Like you're surnamed Chen, and I'm also surnamed Chen."
Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue seemed to realize something. But that Lu Yuan continued to shout, "So what if you're surnamed Chen?
Are all the people surnamed Chen on this planet your apprentices, you ugly old man?"
Then suddenly, Chen Hang Yue spoke up, saying,
"All right, I agree." Li Xin and Bai Xue, who stood behind, were surprised. "What?" the old man said. "Learning the trade means acting like you're learning the trade. Shouldn't you kneel down and acknowledge me as your master now?" The other guy tried to persuade. "Bro, it's just a He Shou Wu." "Then I don't need it. You don't have to demean yourself."
Ignoring his friend's advice, Chen Hang Yue obediently knelt down and respectfully said, "Master, please accept this disciple's bow." After accepting Chen Hang Yue as his disciple, the old man turned to leave, saying, "Not bad, not too stupid, much stronger than your brother.
Come find me at the shop. In 3 days, I'll consider the medicinal herbs as a gift from your teacher. Go take care of it yourself." Hearing what the old man said, Bai Xue asked her brother, "You have an older brother."
Li Xin, standing next to her, shouted, "You surnamed Chen, are you trying to humiliate our Baoantong?" Bai Xue, hearing this, stepped forward and said, "Miss Lai, please have some self-respect, don't slander others."
That Lu Yuan then said,
not acknowledging this foolish old man as your master. Then Chen Hang Yue calmly replied, "Do you remember me telling you that the Chen family split into 2 branches, north and south, 300 years ago? One branch is the Dijing Chen clan, and the other is said to be in Jiangnan."
Hearing this, Lu Yuan exclaimed in surprise, "You mean this old man is—"
Chen Hang Yue continued, "He knows about Chen Hang Huang's affairs. He's definitely not an ordinary person. Or perhaps, he can help me break through the soul needle bottleneck in cultivation." Seeing this, he approached Chen Hang Yue, his face smiling excitedly as he whispered, "Whether you can break through the bottleneck or not, I don't know, but the ferocity of those 2 beautiful girls is about to break through." At this moment, Bai Xue and Li Xin were arguing vehemently below. "My man, who allowed you to spout nonsense about him?"
"What do you mean by constantly trying to talk to him? Who do you think you are? Tell Chen Hang Yue to come here and talk to me. I despise him. Don't be so presumptuous. I have no shortage of men by my side, haha."
Who would have known? Over on the other side, Deng Yingjun looked at Chen Hang Yue and said, "It's that kid.
Remember his appearance?" The girl standing beside him replied, "I recognize him. If it weren't for him spoiling things, Xianghai Chao and his son would have died under this lady's poison GU long ago. Let's settle that debt along with today's scene change."
After the banquet, in a pink supercar, Chen Hang Yue drove Bai Xue while chatting, "Do you find me very strange?
Not going to a high-ranking doctor from Baoantong, but instead acknowledging a Visu who sells power elixirs," Bai Xue then added. "And another thing, gifting a 1,000-year-old He Shou Wu to a boorish man." Hearing this, Hang Yue stammered, That, she's a friend of mine. I'll introduce you to in the future."
Hearing this, Bai Xue hugged Chen Hang Yue and said, "But I know you're not a fool. There must be a reason why you're doing this. I'll always support you."
"As for that brother of yours, there's no need to rush to tell me. Wait until you feel it's the right time to tell me." Suddenly, a fly flew over from somewhere. Seeing this, Chen Hang Yue stopped the car. Bai Xue found it strange and asked, "What's wrong?" Not wanting her to worry, Chen Hang Yue calmly replied, "The car brakes are worn. You go upstairs first. I'll go get the brakes fixed." Hearing this, Bai Xue didn't suspect anything and replied, "Okay, then hurry up. If not, we'll talk about it tomorrow." Then she went upstairs. After seeing her leave, Chen Hang Yue stood up and looked at what he had caught earlier, muttering, "A ring mark from a GU worm. If no one intentionally arranged it, Yu Ran wouldn't wear it as jewelry, let alone bring it as a birthday gift for Hai Chao. I fear she's been a pawn of their family for a long time. Or is it to eliminate Shanghai Chao?" Just as he finished speaking, a figure appeared from behind the wall and said, "You're quite clever. It wasn't a waste for this mistress to travel such a long distance." Seeing this, Chen Hang Yue wasn't afraid and calmly replied to her, "The Miaojiang Wu Yi haven't liked competition for hundreds of years. Instead of sincerely saving people, you're still infatuated with using poison to cast GU. Today, I will clean up your sect on behalf of my ancestors." Not to be outdone, she quickly leaped up and said, "Then we'll have to see if you have the ability." As Chen Hang Yue saw her appearance, his face turned red, his lecherous habits returning. He wondered if he was seeing things. It was actually going commando. She leaped up, throwing poisonous insects, and said, "Taste the power of the extreme flameworms." Chen Hang Yue quickly dodged, his face still flushed, thinking to himself,
As a married man, this move is simply impossible to look at directly, and the sacrifice is too great. The red aura still didn't give up, and continued to chase after him. Seeing this, Hang Yue panicked and said, "It's still chasing me." Then he jumped up and down to dodge. Seeing him running away, she burst out laughing and said, "Haha, it's useless no matter how far you run. Once you're bitten by my little darlings, they'll tear your skin apart, desperately trying to burrow into your blood vessels. Just thinking about it is exciting." Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue thought to himself, "She hasn't issued any instructions. Why are these worms always chasing me so closely? Could it be?" After thinking, he turned around and tossed something at the insects, saying, "Go." Seeing his stubborn behavior, she became even more amused and cursed. "Idiot! Using shurikens to deal with my worms. Pigs raised in straw pens are smarter than you." Suddenly, the insects flew straight towards her, causing her to jump back and scream, "Ah!" Chen Hang Yue continued, "As expected, I guessed correctly. The first worm was just bait. What these flying worms are chasing is the scent of that worm I pierced through." After that, he took out the golden hairpins and continued, "These childish tricks don't work on me. It's my turn next." Seeing that she was losing ground, she threw out a smoke bomb and said, "I'm so mad. If I had known, I would have brought the Long Tu Ji Chong with me. Just you wait, this isn't over between us." Then she just ran away, leaving Chen Hang Yue below, who thought to himself as he watched her figure disappear, "Doesn't look too bright. Forget it, I won't bother with her." Scene change. Back at Bai Xue's house, she and her mother were arguing loudly. Li Suyun said loudly, "I told you he's a good-for-nothing. Isn't it shameful enough to stay in the house? Running to such a big place is embarrassing the Bai Xue family." Bai Xue, hearing this, defended Hang Yue, saying, "What nonsense are you talking about? He's clearly going to win back glory for us." Li Suyun didn't hold back, and she continued, "Nonsense. Could this video be fake?" Then she showed a chat log of the Bai family's loving family members. At that moment, Bai Yao sent a video and messaged, "You useless thing. Our family has been exposed at the auction." Not only talking nonsense, but also offending Bao Antong's elder Lai, and kneeling before a beggar in front of so many people, with pictures as evidence. Bai Xixian, seeing the video, also replied, "Ugh, my stomach hurts from anger. How can he be so thoughtless?" Bai Mei messaged, "HMPH. I told you to stay away from their family a long time ago." "Stupidity is contagious," Jia Fu Hao also said. "My wife is right. The first time I saw him that year, I knew that this Chen's brain wasn't developing properly." Bai Xue, after reading, stammered, They, it's not like that." Li Suyun continued to shout, "Does it matter if it is or not? Because of this useless thing, our relatives and friends completely look down on us." Suddenly, Chen Hang Yue came out, took Bai Xue's phone, and said, "Let me say a few words." Then Chen Hang Yue used Bai Xue's phone to message Bai Yao, saying, "Bai Yao, which table are you sitting at during the banquet?" Suddenly, Bai Yao deleted the message, causing second uncle and sixth aunt to message. Then Chen Hang Yue threw the phone away and said, "I'm going to take a shower." Scene change. To Deng Yingjun's side. He angrily smashed things and said, "Idiot, can't even handle a Chen Hang Yue." The other end of the line cursed, "Hey, who are you scolding? This old lady will bring back the Long Tu Xichong and take his life." Deng Yingjun's father, Deng Xiaoshui, calmly cut his steak and said, "That old man Li Ji was originally my target for elimination. If Chen Hang Yue colluded with him, then he must die. This little matter isn't worth getting angry over. Remember to always maintain an elegant demeanor." Early in the morning, Li Suyun was banging on the door, shouting, "Bai Xue, wake up! Open the door for me." Bai Xue sleepily came out and asked, "What's wrong, Mom?" Li Suyun shamelessly said, "You still have the face to ask me. If I didn't ask, would you pretend you didn't know? Did you get paid yesterday or not?" Bai Xue, hearing this, was disappointed and said, "Mom, can't you wait for me to wake up before saying this?" As soon as she finished speaking, her mother yelled, "No way. Right now, immediately. Transfer it to me quickly." Then she closed the door to her room, replying with a sullen face, "I know." Seeing that she seemed reluctant, her mother continued, "Every month on the 5th, you have to send living expenses to your younger sister. Don't you know? You always have to be asked to give it. Don't you feel ashamed?" Suddenly, Bai Xijian came out of the bathroom and said, "Can't you wait for your daughter to wake up before saying all this?" Hearing this, she shouted even louder, "She's your daughter, so what about Bai Lixian? Her daughter is living alone abroad. Why don't I ever see you care?" Cut to Bai Lian. She's busy dancing at some bar. She answers the phone while dancing and says, "I'm busy, what is it?" On the other end, Li Suyun sits on a chair happily and says, "My good daughter, your monthly allowance has been sent. Spend it if you need to. Don't make yourself suffer." Bai Lian frowns and replies, "Does Bai Xue have a problem with it? Why does it always get transferred a day late? This money isn't enough. I have my eye on a bag that costs 50,000. Li Suyun continues, "Don't worry, honey. Bai Xue's salary is increasing next month. I'll transfer you 50,000 then." At this moment, Bai Xue is lying on the bed crying. Li Suyun outside the room keeps nagging, seeing some people really have no shame, having to marry a good-for-nothing. If she had married someone rich in the first place, my daughter wouldn't even be in a position where she can't afford a bag. Chen Hang Yue hears it from inside her room too, so he says, "She's pressuring you, why don't you fight back?" Tears stream down her face as she replies, "She raised me. I still have to call her mother no matter what, plus my dad has someone taking care of him. No need to make things tense with my stepmother." Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue pulls her up and says, "Let's go. I'll take you shopping for clothes." Bai Xue asks blankly, "Shopping for clothes? I still have to go to work." Hang Yue immediately replies,
The hospital is closed on the way. You haven't bought new clothes in a year. We have to buy some today. Li Suyun hears this and yells, shopping for clothes? Your sister can't even buy a bag, and you have time to go shopping for clothes. Don't you have any clothes to wear? I think your conscience has been eaten by dogs. Chen Hang Yue ignores her words and kindly says to Bai Xue, you go downstairs and wait for me. She replies, okay. Seeing her leave, he closes the door. Li Suyun continues to nag. You good for nothing. All you do all day is eat and laze around. If you have any shame, get out of my house, Bai Xue says. Alright, that's enough. She hears this and yells even louder. You're no better than him. How much money can a clinic make? You all rely on a pharmacy? When will I ever live in a villa? You hate me nagging, right? Then let's get a divorce, dare you. Bai Xue is scared by her ferocity and stammers. Divorce. It doesn't have to be like this. Suddenly, Chen Hang Yue turns back and says, shut your foul mouth. The two of them are speechless. Chen Hang Yue faces her and continues. I used to give face to Bai Xue and not bother with you, but your mouth is really unbearable. Li Suyun hears this and says hesitantly, what do you want to do? I'm warning you, I'm your mother-in-law. You try touching me. Chen Hang Yue's face darkens. He glares at her and replies, I'm afraid of dirtying my hands. Even if I hit you, I will make you kneel down and beg me. I will make you never be able to hold your head up for the rest of your life. She hears this and gets furious, wanting to rush at him. But Bai Xue stops her in time. She continues to rant. This traitor dares to talk to me like that. Don't ever come back here again. You dare to do this in my house. I'll have the police arrest you. Get out. Bai Xue blocks her and tries to appease her. Alright, why are you talking to your child like that? Apologize quickly. Chen Hang Yue doesn't care. He turns around, waves, and says, I'm going shopping with Bai Xue. Li Suyun sees his carefree appearance and shouts furiously, get out of here! Lu Yuan, who is still sleeping soundly with two girls beside him, is suddenly hearing the phone. He groggily picked it up and said, what's so early in the morning? Chen Hang Yue said while walking. There's a woman named Li Suyun applying for a loan at Sioux City Commercial Bank, but it hasn't been approved yet. Contact the bank branch manager and tell them to finalize the loan today. Lu Yuan, still half asleep, had to ask again, Li Suyun. Why Li Suyun? Hang Yue replied. You don't need to worry about that, just do it. The only condition is that she buys a house today. Scene shifts back to Chen Hang Yue and Bai Xue. Hearing his conversation, she wondered, why do you still want to help her get money? More than your own mother. Hang Yue, as if he knew what she was saying, smugly said, don't rush, just wait and watch the show. After walking for a while, they arrived at a store. The salesperson, seeing them, bowed and greeted. Welcome to GUCCI. What do you two need? While speaking, her face suddenly fell, and she thought to herself, such rustic clothes, meeting poor people so early in the morning. What bad luck. At this time, Chen Hang Yue said, take a look. Is there anything you want to buy? Seeing this, Bai Xue hesitantly said, This is too expensive. The salesperson, seeing this, rolled her eyes and said, this girl is right. Our store is the most luxurious place in this city. Top international products. I'm afraid you two can't afford it. I suggest you two go to smaller shops. That would be more suitable. Ignoring what she just said, Hang Yue entered and said, we're already here. Trying it on doesn't cost money. Bai Xue still hesitated and replied, that would be too embarrassing. Then, Bai Xue touched a purple dress. Seeing her looking at the dress, Chen Hang Yue asked, do you like this dress? Bai Xue smiled bitterly and replied, no, I'm just looking. Then, Hang Yue pointed to the dress and said, please get this dress for us to try on. Bai Xue awkwardly said, no need. But the salesperson immediately showed an attitude. Sir, this dress is a display item in our store, limited quantity, only one in the whole city, the price is 5 figures, how about choosing something else? Suddenly, Bai Mai and Jiafu Hao walked in from outside. Seeing the two of them, they acted superior and said, oh, isn't this Bai Xue and her husband? I thought you guys were just browsing small shops. Didn't expect to meet you here. The salesperson, seeing that guy, immediately changed her face like a pancake, and then smiled brightly and said, welcome to both of you, feel free to try. Then, Bai Mai pointed to a certain dress and said, no need to try, I'll take that dress. What? Pay? Jiafu Hao smiled lightly and replied, no problem, how much? The salesperson immediately went to get the dress that Bai Xue had touched earlier and said, 70,000. I'll wrap it up for you. Chen Hang Yue didn't let them act recklessly, so he spoke up. Wait, I saw this dress first. There should be a first-come, first-served basis. The salesperson didn't even bother to look at him and replied with an attitude, sorry, customers are also divided into classes. If you don't have money, don't go to luxury stores. You should understand this principle. The couple laughed out loud when they heard this insulting remark and said, that's well said. Poor thing, you should thank people. Such a valuable lesson. Seeing him uncontrollably angry, Bai Xue grabbed his arm and said, don't say any more. Let's go somewhere else, we can't afford it. Hang Yue didn't pay attention to her words, he said loudly. Oh, then I'm very curious. What kind of customer is considered noble in your eyes? Hearing this, the salesperson replied, TCH. If you have the ability, buy this store. Hearing this, Hang Yue smiled lightly, and then he smugly replied, so it's that simple. Seeing this, Bai Xue was stunned. Scene shifts to Lu Yuan. At this time he was sitting and being massaged by two beautiful girls, and then he said, hello, don't rush me, I've already arranged it for you. Chen Hang Yue said, it's about something else. Buy the GUCCI of Marios Market in Sioux City. How long will it take? Hearing this, Lu Yuan's face turned purple with anger, and then he gritted his teeth and replied, "That Chen guy, Lu Yuan. I'm still a man who's 8 meters tall, not your son. Why can you order me around so casually?"
Chen Hang Yue continued, without hesitation. "I remember someone wanting me to help him get a century-old Longmian Xiang, didn't they?" Hearing that, Lu Yuan suddenly smiled brightly and replied, "Just kidding with you. You want Ji Yu Qi. This son will arrange it right away." As soon as he finished speaking, Chen Hang Yue hung up the phone and said, "It's all settled."
Bai Xue, seeing this, asked him blankly, "Are you serious?" The Bai Mei couple also heard and burst into laughter, tears streaming down their faces. Then they said, "Ha! You just spouted nonsense on the phone, thinking you could fool us? Chen Hang Yue, it's such a waste you didn't become an actor." My stomach hurts from laughing. Suddenly, some uncle came in with an awkward face and said, "Excuse me, which one is Mr. Chen Hang Yue?" The staff member saw him and exclaimed in surprise. Director Li Hang Yue, standing behind, calmly replied, "That's me." The uncle was still busy on the phone. He replied, Yes, don't worry, I found the person. I will definitely explain it to him." Then the uncle went to Hang Yue and bowed. "Chairman Chen, the headquarters informed me, you are the new chairman of our TD group. I am General Manager Lin Dinghua. Just tell me if you have any instructions." Hang Yue responded unhurriedly. The couple, hearing this, were wide-eyed and exclaimed, Superpowers. Then he pointed to the purple dress from earlier and asked, "Zhao Li, I want this dress, how much is it?" Hearing this, he stammered, "These are all yours, free of charge. I'll wrap it up for you." The staff member from earlier saw the situation reversed and also changed her attitude. Her face was full of sweat, trembling as she said, Chairman Chen, I was blind not to recognize you. Anything you need, I will definitely serve you well." Chen Hang Yue didn't care. He pointed at her and said, "I have 2 requests. First, immediately fire this kind of flattering employee." Hearing that, she exclaimed in panic, Fired? The boss Lin, hearing this, responded, Yes, I'll arrange it right away." Then he called the security guards to drag her away. She cried and screamed, "Chairman Chen, please spare me this once. I know I was wrong. I'm sorry, Chairman Chen." As for the lovebird couple, they sneaked away. Jia Fu Hao, pale with fright, could only say, "Go, go, go." Suddenly Hang Yue said, "And you too." Hearing that, they were startled. Chen Hang Yue smugly continued, "From today onwards, you two will be on the store's blacklist, never to step foot in the store again, understand?" Bai Mei, hearing that, shouted, "Chen Hang Yue, don't act like a big shot with a chicken feather. Who do you think you are?" "Based on what can't we come?" Chen Hang Yue calmly replied, "This is the store's rule. If you really have the ability, then buy this store." Unable to retort, Bai Mei went to cry to Jia Fu Hao, "Honey, look at that shameless bastard." "I don't care. Buy this store for me," he reluctantly said. "You spendthrift. Do you know how much they're selling this store for? Let's go, let's talk at home." Then Jia Fu Hao dragged Bai Mei away, but she was still not over it, and continued to grumble, "That useless Jia Fu Hao. My eyes must have been blind to marry a useless piece of trash like you. You made me lose to Bai Xue. You made me lose all face." Chen Hang Yue, standing behind, looked at their backs and laughed. What a tragic couple. At this moment, someone suddenly called Bai Xue. Bai Xue looked at the phone and saw Li Suyun calling. She wondered, what trick does she want to play now? As soon as Bai Xue answered the phone, Li Suyun on the other end was sobbing and said, "Bai Xue, do you know, the money for the villa that your aunt bought has arrived. And she even wants our relatives to go see the house together this afternoon. She clearly wants to show off in front of your mother." "I don't care. Quickly find Deng Yingjun. Even if you have to trick him into getting a villa for your mother." But Chen Hang Yue was listening on the phone. He said, "Deng Yingjun isn't stupid. Even if your mother marries Bai Xue to him, the villa won't be in your mother's name. Your mother won't have anything to do with the villa." Li Suyun, hearing that, was surprised and stammered, "Why is it you? Anything is better than a pauper like you. Give the phone to Bai Xue." Before she could finish, he hung up the phone. Bai Xue, seeing this, asked blankly, "Why do you want to help your aunt buy a house? Are you trying to provoke Mom?" Chen Hang Yue chuckled and replied, "When it comes to flattering, Li Sufeng and Li Suyun aren't that different. I'm not really helping her. I just want her to help Wang's bakery get back on its feet a little." After a while, he drove Bai Xue to a real estate center. Arriving, he said, "We're here." Seeing the strange location, Bai Xue said in a panic, "Are you crazy? This is the most luxurious villa area in Sioux City. At least 30,000 yuan per square meter." Chen Hang Yue ignored her and pulled her hand, saying, "It doesn't cost anything to take a look." Then he went in with her. Suddenly, a security guard blocked their way, saying, "Sir, our real estate is a luxury residential project. If you don't have tens of millions, I advise you not to cause a disturbance." Suddenly, Xiang Mingli came out and, seeing him, asked, "Dr. Chen, why do you have time to come to my real estate?" Chen Hang Yue, seeing him, said, "So this is your project. I brought my wife to buy a house, but according to your security guard, I might not be qualified." Bai Xue, seeing him, greeted him politely. "Hello, President Xiang." Xiang Mingli, hearing Chen Hang Yue's words, darkened his face and asked, "Not qualified?" Then the security guard seemed to understand something, so he bowed and shouted, "Welcome, President Chen." Xiang Mingli then led Chen Hang Yue and said, "You're a lifesaver to our family. If you want a villa, just tell me. As long as it's a project of my company, you can choose whatever you want." Chen Hang Yue replied, "I can't accept such a favor. I'll just buy it with money." Xiang Mingli then pointed him to a model, pointing and explaining, "Our project covers a total of 3,000 mu and has 3 levels of villas. low, middle and high. The cheapest is 19,000 per square meter. If you insist on paying yourself, I can give you a 70% discount. The crowd, seeing Xiang Mingli's warm reception, gossiped among themselves. Who are these two? How can they make President Xiang personally receive them? Must be some important figures. Chen Hang Yue looked for a moment, then he said, forget it. Ming Li, hearing this, was surprised and continued to ask, still too expensive. What's the point of a 70% discount? Chen Hang Yue then said. I'm not interested in low-level villas. Where is your king-level villa? Scene changes to a house. Li Sufeng is jubilant with the new house and says, the bank said to buy it quickly, it can't be delayed. That's why I invited everyone to help advise. Here, put on shoe covers, don't dirty our floor. Her guests, seeing the house, exclaimed, so beautiful. Zhu Feng's fortune is really good. Among our relatives, only you get to live in a villa. Li Sufeng, hearing this, was complacent and replied, hey, the quality of this residential area is just average. In Su City, it's only second to the newly developed Hanhai Tianjufu. Li Suyun, standing beside her, chuckled, envying her and thinking to herself, HMPH talking so much, isn't it still not the best? Then Su Feng saw Su Yun and said, oh, Su Yun's here too. I thought you might not want to come today. Li Su Yun, seeing her provocative tone, suppressed her anger and replied, you're lucky to live in a villa. As your younger sister, I definitely have to come and share in the joy. Then she thought to herself, you old hag, if I didn't come you might smear me in front of the relatives. Li Sufeng continued to gloat and said, I'm not that lucky, still far behind. Look, you married such a capable husband. The medicine shop's boss, Linian, immediately brings medicine to you for headaches, and you gave birth to a daughter who is valued by the elders. Inheriting hundreds of millions of assets is only a matter of time. The most outstanding is your son-in-law, Tisk, doesn't even look for a job, stays at home every day doing housework for you. Truly enviable. Hearing this, Su Yun became even more furious. After hearing this, Su Feng's guests burst into laughter, saying, haha, that's right, this is the fortune that Su Yun cultivated in her previous life. We can only admire her. Living in a 2-room old house with your daughter and son-in-law at such an old age, ha! Admirable. She couldn't take it anymore, so she turned her back and took out her phone. She kept muttering curses. It's infuriating. Bai Xue, Bai Xue, Chen Hang Yue. It's all because of you good-for-nothings who lack ambition. I have to scold you to vent my anger. On Li Sufeng's side, they were still excitedly asking each other, is the land certificate under your name or your husband's? Li Sufeng replied, of course it's under my name. Otherwise, how would anyone know whose house this is? The group of them, upon hearing this, said, that's right, you must assert ownership. It's only certain when the die is cast. Suddenly, a notification appeared on Li Suyun's phone. Su Cheng News. Generosity without humanity. Young couple generously spend 10 million to buy a villa, the King Unit, at Hanhai Tianju Mansion. Su Yun was even more infuriated upon reading this, thinking to herself, it's infuriating that they're releasing news like this to make people angry. Uninstall. Just as she was about to touch the notification, her phone displayed a news article with a picture of Hang Yue and Bai Xue. She froze upon seeing the picture. Cut to Chen Hang Yue and Bai Xue sitting on chairs, with the other two urging, Divine Dr. Chen, are you absolutely sure you don't want to sign? If you don't sign the registration form, how can we process the property ownership certificate? If your signature isn't on the property ownership certificate, the house won't belong to you. So please, Hang Yue, be patient. Hang Yue said, keep waiting, someone will come to register it. Just then, Yi Suyun, with her hair a mess, stormed in, shouting, you two scoundrels, have your consciences been eaten by dogs? No living expenses for your younger sister. No money to show filial piety to me, but you have money to buy a house. The security guard who was trying to stop her said, you can't come in. Chen Hang Yue, seeing her, calmly sat on the chair and replied, why are you here again? I paid for the house. It has nothing to do with Bai Xue. Weren't you always unhappy and wanted to kick me out? So what, aren't you happy that we bought a house? Li Suyun was dissatisfied and shamelessly said, stop talking nonsense, I'm telling you. If the property ownership certificate doesn't have my name on it, you're not going to get away with this. Hang Yue then turned to Xiang Mingli and asked, which law stipulates that? Does my house need your name on it, President Xiang? Is there such a regulation? Xiang Mingli, standing beside him, replied, the house was paid for by Mr. Chen. No one has the right to demand that he transfer ownership. If you continue to make trouble unreasonably, I will report you to the police for creating disturbances and intimidation. A few months in prison is unavoidable. I advise you to have some self-respect. Li Suyun, hearing this, became frightened and said, this? Then she answered the phone, saying, Suyun, aren't you going to look at houses with your sister? Not even a phone call, and you've already run off. 2 sisters, and I can still laugh at you. Come over quickly. I have some beautiful houses here. Pick one. You can stay for a few days in the future too. I won't charge you rent, just help me cook, sweep, and clean the bathroom. Hearing this, she became even more infuriated, shouting, cook and clean the bathroom for you. Am I your maid? Let me tell you, Li Sufeng, don't think your dilapidated villa is worth me living in. I bought the most expensive unit at Hanhai Tianju Mansion. I didn't tell you before, because I was afraid of scaring you to death. Li Sufeng, sounding incredulous, taunted, Hanhai Tianju Mansion. Dream on. Your dilapidated house can't even afford a manhole cover. Hearing this, Su Yun shouted back loudly, I'm signing the contract for the house right now. It'll be mine immediately. Then Su Feng said, Alright, you said it. I'll be bringing my relatives over. Today, everyone will see just how capable Li Suyun really is. Just wait to lose face.
Xiang Mingli, standing next to him, looked at Hang Yue and said, "This." After finishing the call, Suyun was out of breath.
Seeing this, Bai Xue went over to support her and said, "Why do you have to be like this? Isn't our home good enough? Why do we have to fight and compete?" Hearing this, Li Suyun's tears fell as she pitifully said, "Bai Xue, my good daughter, can you save Mom? Li Sufeng and the others are coming soon. I can't lose face. Otherwise, how will I ever hold my head up again? Mom knows it's all my own doing, being greedy for glory and caring about appearances. You can say whatever you want, but this time I really can't lose to Li Sufeng. I beg you, just help me this once."
Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue calmly said without hesitation, "Li Suyun, have you forgotten how you've treated me and Bai Xue all these years?
If you were me, would you give this room to someone who has always trampled on your dignity?"
Hearing such words, Li Suyun couldn't stand steady and stammered, "I really shouldn't have treated you like that." Then she knelt down looking pitiful and begged, "Curse at me, hit me, just as long as you're not angry anymore. I know I was wrong. I'm sorry, Bai Xue."
Both Xiang Mingli, upon seeing her like this, were also no less embarrassed. Chen Hang Yue ignored her kneeling on the floor and coldly replied, "Hitting you would only dirty my hands." Then he turned away and continued, "People die for money, birds die for food. One day you will pay the price for your vanity. Add her name, I'm going to work." Hearing this, Bai Xue knelt down to help her up and said, "Stand up, Mom." He agreed.
Li Suyun, still kneeling on the floor, continued to sob and cry, "Hick, thank you." The people around, seeing Chen Hang Yue's generosity, exclaimed in surprise, "He just gave away a 100 million villa like that."
Oh my god. Scene changes to a house. Hang Yue drove his car over. He looked at the house and thought, this is probably the place. After parking the car, Chen Hang Yue went inside. As soon as he opened the door, he said, "Master." Then suddenly there were strange noises. Iku, Suoi Ramet, the old man from the banquet, was watching something. Seeing him, the old man panicked, closed his computer, and yelled, "Who told you to come in? Don't you know how to knock? Didn't your father teach you even basic manners? Oh, weren't you supposed to come in 2 days?" Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue replied, "I came to see if there's anything I can help with." "Wait, you know my father?" Hearing this, the old man leisurely replied, "More than just know. We were friends. It's just a pity that he was too naive. He was tricked during the competition, and didn't even know who harmed him until he died." Hearing this, Chen Hang Yue shouted, "Tell me, who's the murderer?" Seeing him raise his voice, the old man said, "Don't be so loud. Since I've accepted you as my disciple, I will definitely tell you the truth. It also took me 3 years to investigate the other party's identity. You might not believe it when I say it, but the other party has been dead for many years. It's your father's younger brother,